Good morning. Coming up to 4 minutes after 6 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Ally McCoist with me. Hopefully the wee button is working. Alistair, morning.
The button's working fine, my pal. How are you this morning?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Now, David Moyes finally got his first win as an away boss at Old Trafford last night. Whoa. And it was live on talkSPORT.
It's exactly 1 year to the day since Ruben Amorim took charge of Manchester United. It's a red card. Idrissa Gana Gueye fighting with his own player, I think. He was fighting with Michael Keane.
The game's gone. I don't say that lightly.
I quite like when my players have a fight. I don't want them to accept somebody not doing well enough.
Clear strike to the face of Michael Keane. That's the latest from the Premier League Match Centre.
We didn't play well 11 against 11. We didn't play well 11 versus 10.
Dewsbury Hall getting the wrong side of Fernandes. Gets it back onto his right foot. Shoots into the far corner and scores a terrific goal.
Well, I didn't think it had a prayer with 10 men.
Last time they won here, 2013, Roberto Martinez was the manager of Everton.
Players done a brilliant job.
It's Bruno Fernandes over the bar. 6 yards out, looking for Xerxes, whose header into the far corner is stopped by Pickford.
Be a huge setback for them, wouldn't it, this?
If you look at both teams, they were the better team today.
David Moyes has finally done it, and he's done it with 10 men.
Won a few times as manager here, but not as a visiting manager. It's been really tough.
Manchester United 0, Everton 1.
Yeah, what a performance. What a result. Pickford as well, brilliant in goal. Ali, what do you make of it? Look, we've got to talk about the slap and tickle. You know, again, for me, it's a bit of common sense in the ref, surely. I know he might get in trouble, the rules of the law. Well, we're arguing about the rules of the law the other day, the offside, the second Arsenal goal, you know, ridiculous. But it wouldn't have made a difference. Last night, watching him like, oh, come on, ref, just get a hold of him and say, come on, girls, sort it out.
Exactly, mate. I mean, do you know the first thing I thought, Alan? Right. I'm with you. You and I kind of, generally speaking, agree on most things, right?
Yeah.
How many times have we seen it? An argument between two teammates. It happens all the time. Now, I don't think the referee would have got in trouble if he hadn't sent him off, and I'll tell you why. Because to be fair to Sky, I thought Jamie Carragher got it spot on last night. I really did. I thought he got it right. And they put up the rule, and the rule is striking an opponent or any other person on the head or face with a hand or arm, right? Yeah. Bracket. Now, this is the important point. Unless the force used was negligible, right? Now, there is no way the referee would have got into trouble if he'd said the force was negligible, because it was negligible, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He'd have been better grabbing the two of them and say, come on, lads, stop embarrassing yourself. You know, go on with the game and shake hands, go on with the game.
Sort out at half
and that
time
would have been it.
End of the game, yeah.
I don't think it was a punch. Right, it might have been a wee slap.
Oh, no, it wasn't a punch, Ali.
No, there's no chance it was a punch. A wee slap. I thought the red card was needless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For Moisey, one hell of a result. By the way, Everton, United had chances, didn't they? There's no doubt about it. But
goalie did well. You're right.
Oh, he made some great saves. You know, sometimes he not irritates me because. But I remember Big Sam telling me this guy works his socks off every day in training. He deserves everything he gets. Sometimes I think he's a bit local. You know, I'm like, oh, what's wrong with him?
He's a goalie.
But last night, exactly, yeah. But last night, some great saves. But God, did Everton work hard for each other?
Yeah. Well, it's one of these things. When you go to places like that, that's the first thing you've got to do. If you've any chance of getting a result at all, you have to work your socks off for each other. And many times that we've seen it, Alan, when a team goes down to 10 men, they kind of galvanise and regroup and work and just fight for each other because they've got they might feel hard done by, or they've all of a sudden they've got a real cause. They're down to 10 men, and that was the case. And he couldn't have been any prouder of his team, Big Moisey, after it.
Let me put you in Amorim's mind now, Ali. You're a manager. You're down to 10 men. You're 1-0 down. Is it a case of let's get at them? Tactics out the window. Let's get the ball. We've got one man superior. Let's go at them. Let's take the game to them. I don't care if we get beat 2 or 3. Let's get at them. But he was very slow changing things, I thought.
I agree with you, mate. I think the one thing you've got to do, particularly when you when you're playing against a team that go down to 10 men, Alan, I think you've got to make the pitch as big as you possibly can, right? And by that I mean get people in wider positions, particularly when you've got the ball, obviously, and stretch the game, make the game big, make the game wide, and make them work for it, and create more space on the pitch. And I don't think they did that to any extent, any level, Al. You know what I mean? You got to say from United's point of view, I thought they were a little bit disappointing when Everton went down to 10 men. Yes, they created one or two chances. Yes, the goalkeeper made one or two good saves, but you'd expect that. But overall, I'd have to say I was a little bit disappointed. You not?
So, without a doubt. So, because especially with the table, up to fourth, I think it was, something like that. Well, let's see what Amarin had to say. I thought, I like this guy. He's taking so much stick. He's got United. Look, they're not playing the way they can, but you look at the table-wise, it's a lot better than last year. And if they'd have won, they're suddenly in amongst European spots, aren't they? What did he think last night? Because people were pointing the finger, I know they were, about change it quickly. Here's Ruben.
In the end, if you look at the game, you just look at Lenny and Luke Shaw as a centre back. I don't look like that. We left Mata on the middle, and Lenny has the opportunity to drive the ball, look the same way. And sometimes in moments that you are not playing well, without good decisions, you need to maintain the things that you train. So sometimes it's hard. People want to see more people in the box. I know for sure that is not going to help. Maybe if we have Harry Maguire, we can put Harry Maguire inside the box. But if the characteristics are not there, my feeling is that I can show something to the crowd. But in the end, my feeling is that that was the best decision to try to win the game.
There you go. I mean, he probably thought I've got loads of time. One thing I'm sure of, Ali, if Pickford's in goal, he saves that.
Yeah.
You put Pickford in, for the Man United goal, I think he saves that.
Definitely. Listen, he does really well, Dewsbury Hall. He's positive, and he gets a little bit of the break for Lenny Yoro comes off him a little bit, and it's perfect for him to hit. But it wasn't in the corner. It wasn't outside the post and just coming in. It was more central in the goal. And I'd love to talk to a goalkeeper, Alan, because I'm not sure he goes with the right hand. I think he goes with the right hand.
He's got to move his feet quicker and go with his left hand.
I think so, mate. I mean, not being a goalkeeper, certainly not being a goalkeeping expert.
Well, I heard in the 5-a-sides up your school bride, you were pretty good when you had
made a couple of good saves. Yeah, you can always rely on me for 5 or 10 minutes at a 5-a-side.
I've seen you when you drop your wallet. Oh, dear.
Well,
caught in the back of your neck.
I'm filling the 5-a-side goals nowadays, Al. I'm filling the goal now.
Ali, just a quick one. Go on.
I'm just going to say to you, I'm looking at... See, I thought you're making changes. He brings on Mason Mount, which is fine at half-time, forward-thinking player. After that, see if you have a look at his bench, he's not got a lot of forward options, really. He's not got 2 or 3. I mean, for example, you look at that Arsenal bench at the weekend, right, and look at the Man United bench in terms of forward-thinking players.
Yeah.
He's not got a lot of forward-thinking players on that bench, which I think was obviously a big problem. And it curtails his options as well. Do you know what I mean? It really curtails his options. Whereas you look at the Arsenal bench, and they've got Martinelli, Norgard. He brings on Madueke, Nwaneri. You know what I mean? Max Dowman.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
He's got 5, 6, 7 players that can come on and change that game in forward areas.
Yeah.
And I don't think Amarim had it last night.
2 quick ones, Ali. We did get a wee text yesterday about Rangers were going to change it. There's going to be a few changes there. That happened throughout the morning. And also, here's one for you. I'm pretty sure I know where you'd go. What game would you watch tonight? Would you fancy going to Paris to see Spurs? Survey says no. Would you fancy Anfield, PSV? Not really. I think you got a bit of the Arsenal tonight, haven't you?
In fact, I'm at Man City Leverkusen, and my bosses listen. That's the game for me. Man City Leverkusen.
I missed that one. The reason why I've not got it down here. Oi, numpties.
Hey, what are you expecting me to say, you madman?
Well, to be honest, City, Leverkusen will take a few, won't they? They'll bring a few thousand people, Germans, over. It's going to be an interesting game, going to be a good atmosphere. But look, Spurs have to bounce back. City have to bounce back. Arsenal are flying at the moment, and Liverpool have to bounce back, don't they?
Of course you do, but Chelsea-Barcelona is a great game tonight.
Chelsea is a big game. That's where I thought you'd be, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm at City. I'm leaving here and heading into City. But no, Chelsea's a great game. I've got to say, Alan, Chelsea have kind of surprised me a little bit. You know what I mean? They've been slightly more consistent than I thought they would be. Obviously, coming off that World Club Championship in the summer, which they won and won it well. Terrific performance against PSG. Their performances, generally speaking, have been very, very good. I saw them against, I keep mentioning them, I saw them against, what do you call it, Sunderland, when they were beaten at home.
Yeah.
And Sunderland played exceptionally well. But generally speaking, and I don't know about yourself, but I didn't think at this point they'd be sitting second top of the league.
No.
I thought top four again would be a good performance. And I know there's still a good fair bit to go, Alan. But I think they're doing really well, you know, Chelsea.
They are, but don't forget they got Arsenal coming at the weekend as well.
What a game that is.
I'd be interested to see team selections tonight. So
just by the way, here's one for you.
Yeah, go on.
Just a quick one. You think of the two games that they've got, and they've got a massive game at the weekend. Chelsea playing Barcelona, Arsenal playing Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Massive, massive games with arguably a bigger one for each of them at the weekend against each other.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, coming up, 03717 223344. The number to call. I've got a mass load of paper in front of me. I can see where I've gone wrong here. So tonight's game, some great Tuesday night, Wednesday night is just brilliant. Amorim, was he to blame last night, or are Manchester United players simply not good enough going forward? You know, what a chance that was to get right up the table. Marseille, Newcastle is talkSPORT. That's our live game tonight. It should be a cracker. Can Newcastle on the travels get something in the south of France? Coming up, we turn our attention to the back pages and investigate Slapgate even further.
6:19, Tuesday, 25th of November. The news this morning, Celtic are closing in and making Wilfred Nancy their new manager. talkSPORT understand interim boss Martin O'Neill is expected to remain in charge for at least Thursday's Europa League trip to Feyenoord, while a deal for Columbus crew boss Nancy is finalised. Now, big fella, what are you making of that news?
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing after Big Ange.
I would strongly advise you to say nothing. If I was you, I'd take the Fifth Amendment, because after your last performance...
I'm saying nothing. Ange, what's going on here? All right. Let's catch up. Angelina, good morning.
Morning.
I'm all over the shop here. I've got paper everywhere. I've lost my glasses.
Oh, it's all going on, isn't it?
He's having a pop at me. You know, Radio Clyde up there. He never comes out of London anymore.
I know, where is he?
Listen, I'm seeing you Thursday. Give me a break, will you? I'm working tonight and I work tomorrow night. I'm at London tomorrow and I'll see you in the studio on Thursday.
We'll let him off then. Well, I wanted to try and make things... wanted to try and make things a bit better, but I feel like we're already at odds here because we're going through the back pages and we're talking about Manchester United. Slapgate is going to come up, and I know that you guys, but you've both said not having it.
No, I'm not having it.
But it's contact though. He slaps him.
It's frustration. It's like, get lost, get on with it.
I don't know though.
Do you know the best way to put it, Angelina?
Yeah.
Here's the best way to put it. Other guys and girls watching that play other sports will be in hysterics. Imagine the rugby boys watching that last night, right? They would be in tears laughing at us, at our sport. They're actually in hysterics. Now imagine the rugby league boys, the rugby union boys watching.
Well, imagine the wrestlers, they'll be banged up for life.
What a laughing stock. I'm telling you right now, our sport is a laughing stock amongst other sports for getting
Big Daddy's just getting out.
I mean, look at those boys at the weekend. Even the cricketers, man, that ball flying by your head at 100 mile an hour. Well, honestly, God, Angelina, I'm not buying it. We're a laughing stock.
But, it's... You can't slap someone in your place of work, can you?
I mean, Ali could have a laugh and do it.
You reckon get away with it, yeah? Yeah. All right, fair enough. I mean, like I say, it's all over.
Denny's not going to get in between me and Ali, is he?
No, we'll let that slide. But yeah, I mean, we've got Moment of Madness, Idrissa hit pal in kisser. That's all everyone's talking about. Of course, the loss at home for Manchester United to Everton. People are questioning Ruben Amorim, questioning the team.
You're a United fan, so yes. What do you reckon? Come on.
Yeah.
I think he got the team selection wrong, to be completely honest. I think you look at starting Ahmad in one of the 2 10 positions, but on the left-hand side. He's been working so well with Mbeumo on the right. I would have kept him on the right. I would have started Mason Mount. And I maybe even tweaked it a little bit. Put Mbeumo up front, Ahmad on the right, Mount on the left, because Joshua Zirkzee, he's not very good, and he's not even getting the minutes anyway, so you're almost setting him up to fail in that situation, I thought. But the slap is what everyone's talking about, isn't it? And I mean, you guys obviously feel that it's not a red, and that's fair. Did you guys have incidents like this, though?
Oh, yeah, but yeah.
Was there scraps going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the dressing room at half-time.
Did either of you get involved? But any fighting, or...?
Yeah.
I had a belter with Gascoigne.
Ali was always at it.
I had a belter with Gascoigne in the League Cup final at Celtic Park. Referee to pull the 2 A's apart a minute before half-time. And we were still at it, getting up the tunnel at half-time. And Walter had to sort us out. And he sorted the 2 of us out at half-time. And that maniac went out and scored 2 goals in the second half.
Well, there you go. Davy Moyes has said that. He said, I don't mind that. It shows a bit of passion.
Do you think he'll be dealing with it the same way behind the scenes, though? And also, if they hadn't won, he wouldn't have been as laid back, surely.
No. Good point. Good point. If they'd lost 1-0 last-minute goal, he'd be like...
Behind the scenes, do you think he's saying, fair enough?
I think he'd be saying to his players, whoever was sent off, I think he'd be saying to Gay, you let them down. You let them down. You made them play after 13 minutes with 10 men. It's your fault. I think that could come into it.
I get what he said, and I understand exactly what he said. He doesn't mind it. Because, and if you're an Everton fan, I'm interested. I'd love to get the Everton fans on, and I'm sure we will this morning. Because if you're an Everton fan, okay, it's not ideal and it's not a great look. I get it, but I tell you what, you've got players that care. That's the one thing you say. You've got players that care. Angelina, I want to ask you one thing as well on the United thing.
Yeah.
Do you not think they're lacking width in the team?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think for me, the main issue is AFCON coming up. And like I say, I keep talking about that right-hand side. And Bumo and Diallo are so key. I thought the fullbacks last night were simply not good enough. They weren't good enough. Patrick Dorgu, I've never rated him, to be completely honest. And on Inside Devils, on the Man United show that we do, that we're filming today with Alex Crook, who wants Ruben Amorim sacked, by the way.
Crookie's a big red, isn't he?
Well, it's a roller coaster of emotions with him, because sometimes he likes him, but at the moment he's after him. He wants him sacked. But for me, the Patrick Dorgu situation, I've always got a bit of stick when I've given him criticism, but I just don't see it. And I think, I felt sorry for Kobbie Mainoo coming on. You're constantly rooting for him, but the goalkeeper maybe could have done better. We were saying that before, but it's just overall, it just feels like you take a few steps forward and then you just go back.
That was a golden opportunity, wasn't it, to get up there? I'm not saying United are going to trouble the top 3 or 4, but, it was a chance to get up there and, going into Christmas period in a healthy position after last year.
And maybe they're just not ready for it. Maybe they're not fit to be a team placing in European spots.
Getting back to my point, Angelina, I look at the top teams that are maybe fancied for the league, and I just think in wider areas, they've got a lot more, particularly in forward areas. You look like City, whether it's Doku, Savinho, boys like that, Arsenal, Martinelli, Saka, all these guys, Trossard, they've just got a lot of Madueke, and even Chelsea have got in wider areas up. They've just got more players that can create and go by people. And I think United are lacking in that department.
Angelina, I've got to break, Angelina. So listen, we've got Crookie coming up at 7 o'clock. So
I'll ask him about when he was throwing his toys.
And then we're going to talk to you around 1:45, aren't we?
Yeah.
Angelina, thank you. Right, it's coming up 6:28 on talkSPORT. Back in a tick.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle as a Pilates instructor? Stretch your budget with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Premier League's profit and sustainability rules are sold to us as financial fair play, a way to keep clubs from going bust. But there are those who feel it's starting to look a lot like a system that protects the big boys and keeps the rest in their lane. Here's how it works and why people feel that way. So clubs can only lose 105 million quid over 3 years, which sounds fair, but here's the kicker. Your limit includes how much you earn. So if you're one of the traditional top 6, you've got massive global revenue streams and you can spend way more while still technically following the rules. Meanwhile, ambitious clubs like Newcastle, Villa or Forest, well, they're bringing a knife to a gunfight. Newcastle might be backed by Saudi billions, but they just can't splurge the cash. Their commercial income isn't there yet. Last season, they won their first domestic trophy since 1955 and qualified for the Champions League, which you'd think would be a great springboard for them to go on and start building a team to challenge at the very top. But because of PSR restraints, they couldn't break their wage structure for a new Alexander Isak contract, and look what happened there. So what's the solution? Well, either loosen the reins so ambitious clubs can spend within their means, or cap spending based on something other than revenue. Otherwise, we're just watching the same 6 teams swapping silverware most seasons, and that, folks, ain't what the Premier League was built on.
Okay, 6:34. If you get a long drive in the car this morning, or lorry van, we have Steve Harmison coming up, Joe Marler, Zola. We got John O'Shea coming up, and Chris Wilder after the Sheffield, the Steel Derby win. All coming up this morning. Right, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the best used car deals guaranteed. Ali's with me. Right, 20 years ago on from the passing of football icon, the great George Best. His former colleague Jeff Stelling and Phil Thompson bring you a very special episode of the daily talkSPORT Daily podcast, available now, reflecting on the brilliance, charisma and complexity of one of the game's greatest players. I myself, after Sky on a Saturday, used to go over and have a couple of beers with George on the Saturday panel. It was brilliant. Great sit down for an hour and a half, couple of hours.
Must have been.
It was Ali. Thomas speaks about honoured he was to make his Liverpool debut against Manchester United, and more other than George himself.
Bill Shankly says to me, "Tomo, son, get your kit off, you're going on." I was thinking, no, I don't want to go on. Mind you, we're winning at this time, 2-0 as well. And I'm thinking, oh my God, George Best, Bobby Charlton, I'm 18 years of age. It's packed at Old Trafford, and I've got to go on the pitch. So he says, son, I want you to go on, Tosh coming off. And you play just behind Kevin. We're 2-0 up, like a number 10 role. So I've gone, right, goes on, right in the centre circle, right in the centre spot. Who got the ball? Came towards me, but only George. And I was a clever player, very clever player. And I opened my legs offering him to nutmeg me. And as he took that opportunity, I shook my legs. The ball rebounded off my shins. And off I went with the ball. But that was my first touch. So it was George Best who done that. But many years later, Jeff, Soccer Saturday, nights out, did I remind George once? I reminded him hundreds of times, and he'd go, Tomo, shut the... Oh, my God. But it was wonderful. How does that, a young kid, and you are on the same pitch as three legends of the game.
Phil Thompson there. I tell you who else, Ali, made his debut against Georgie Burley.
Is that right?
Ipswich, yeah, he made his debut against George Best, yeah.
For Ipswich, I'm guessing, obviously.
And played him very well, by all accounts.
Is that right?
Yeah, but Best, do you remember him playing for Hibs?
Of course I do.
And I remember him playing for...
Of course I do.
And George, I mentioned yesterday, I played against him in North America. The Fort Lauderdale Strikers, George's side against my side, Detroit Express, but also played, and he made the goal for me, for an England 11 against, I think it might have been Norwich. Was it Norwich?
Is that right?
No, it was in Ipswich. It was Ipswich against an England 11. The reason why I say Norwich, Kevin Bond played. And George went down the right way and crossed, and I knocked it in at the far post.
Wow.
So
you've actually scored a goal created by...
Correct. But I always remember, just quickly, because Will's here to pay tribute, I always remember walking in Suffolk when George, it was a funeral, and I had tears in my eyes. I don't often cry, but I had tears in my eyes watching it. When they sang that beautiful
Tragic
song,
loss.
you raised me up, and my youngest daughter, and I was just, Dad, what's wrong? I went, oh, I can't believe it, So
very emotional.
I've got memories, yeah. Anyway, Will's here. Will, very, very good morning.
Will, good morning.
So that was 20 years ago, but also there's another story in the paper today, which is hard reading as well, about Graham Thorpe.
Yeah, there really is indeed, Alan. Legendary England cricketer Graham Thorpe, who took his life last year, would still be alive today if the game's governing body had given him better support after sacking him. That's the view of Graham's widow, Amanda Thorpe. She's spoken exclusively to talkSPORT. She's spoken about her concerns publicly for the very first time.
Do you know what, Will, without going into it, because I don't know yet what you're going to say, but there's one or two people have said to me they could have done better for Graham, and that was, that sticks in my head, and I won't go into it because it's not fair, but that's what they said to me, ex-players.
Yeah, and the ECB have made a statement as well, and we'll talk later about the following on podcast, which gives a good sort of overview of the situation in cricket around mental health. We speak to Marcus Trescothick, Graham Swan, we speak to the ECB, to Bumble as well, and to Amanda Thorpe. So if we go over Amanda Thorpe's claims first, she's talking about the cliff edge of leaving international sport. So just let's refresh ourselves with the timeline of Graham Thorpe. He was sacked by the ECB after the last Away Ashes tour in February 2022. He was very mentally ill at that stage. He made a serious attempt on his life in May of that year, and then we lost Graham Thorpe in August 2024. And Amanda likens leaving cricket to leaving a military career, because cricket, you're so entrenched. You're always on tour. You're always on the road. Yeah. You're always with your family, and you're representing your country, and you're giving everything. Now, Amanda says that he was in a very fragile mental state before his sacking, and she told me that if the rug of his cricketing family hadn't been pulled from underneath him so completely, so quickly, and so entirely, things, in her view, would have been very different.
It's really clear to me that he would still be alive. So it would have made all the difference. I mean, it's hindsight, and no one's got a crystal ball or anything, but it was too much, the cliff. The whole mental breakdown of I'm no longer in that family. So it was that sort of thing. And so if he'd had just a little bit of the support framework there to lean on a bit, to just transition a bit more, it would have made all the difference.
And at this point, we need some explanation of what the ECB did offer Graham. So after his sacking, they extended his medical insurance. He was receiving therapy and treatment during his time as a coach. They extended that insurance by 3 months. They offered him 10 online counselling sessions provided by a therapist. For Amanda, she told me that was insufficient for Graham. And this is the timeline. So both Thorpes discussed with the counsellor, we need more than online sessions. Graham needs therapy. He needs residential care. So the counsellor wrote this recommendation down, residential care. And Amanda said that by asking the counsellor, we thought we were asking the ECB. The ECB have told me that they didn't receive this request.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of months, Graham has a serious attempt of his life. He goes into intensive care, and Amanda says from then on it wasn't the same. And after that attempt on his life, the ECB did step up in a huge way and provided a lot of support for Graham and that residential care. Amanda says it just came too late, and this is where it gets to kind of
tragic.
Yeah, it is so tragic, and we're going to hear from Amanda now. It's a kind of wider point she wants to open up, because if you've got health insurance and you've got a doctor or you've got a counsellor who's acknowledging the recommendation for residential care, and then the employer who's providing the medical insurance doesn't know about that, then there's a problem.
The ECB might say, well, we didn't know how ill he was, although the doctors that he was under did know, but then they sort of said, oh, but there's a confidentiality. There's got to be some connect, because after the crisis he had and when he was very ill, then credit where credit is due. The ECB, then they knew, okay, and then they stepped up and they helped him in lots of ways, including, tragically, in my view, offering him, when you get a bit better, come back and on board and you can just try and do a bit of scouting. And I say tragic because if only they'd offered him that before.
Now, it's important we cover what the ECB have said. They've sent us a statement pointing to their full cooperation with the inquest into Graham Thorpe's death. The coroner, it's keen to point out, found no complaint in the way Graham was sacked and noted the support the ECB gave to him. The ECB also says it's met with Amanda to discuss her concerns, and heartfelt sympathies remain with the family. But I think this opens up a broader question on debate. There are two things here. Firstly, how was it that there was a counsellor provided by the ECB medical insurance that was recommending residential care, and that didn't get through to the ECB, they say? That's one thing. But second, it opens up a conversation about the nature of retirements. If someone's mentally ill, how is that to be handled? Retirements, Graham didn't retire, of course, he was sacked. How should that be handled in that situation? And also more broadly...
Well, it's a difficult one.
Military life. Cricket life. There are a lot of parallels, especially cricket is such a mentally taxing sport, and the Following On podcast has this full investigation with Graham Swan-Truscothick. There are so many cases.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and I'm sure Ali will know what I'm talking about. There's so many players that have to retire, football players, and not just football, but I'm just concentrating on my sport. Football players that when they stop playing, they change so much. They miss it. It's their whole life. They leave school to be a footballer. They dream of being a footballer, and when that dream doesn't materialise or it ends, it's really, really... Some people can get on with it and get another life. Others just can't, they find it hard to accept. It's tragic, really. It really is. And I
really
think it's spotting them early, spotting the signs
absolutely,
early.
Mate. And where you're absolutely spot on, Will, is the kind of regimental side of it. Even in football, it's the same as cricket. Football, you've got to be in at 9 o'clock in the morning. You get a cup of tea. You do your warm-up at 9:45. You're in the gym at 10 o'clock. You go out to training at 10:30. You come back in. You get a bit of lunch. You're back in the gym. You've got a game at night. You're meeting at 4 o'clock. Everything is set in stone for you. And to a certain degree, just about everything's done for you. So... when you, and it's a kind of strange thing to say, but when you get back out into civil life, some of the boys, they don't know what to do really, because everything's done for them, and they've been in a situation. When I say everything's done for them, I mean in a kind of military way. Well, Alan, you know what I mean? Like the army, you know what you're doing, this, that, and everything's set in stone, and that's what you do. You're allowed to do this, you're allowed to do that, and you do it, and you grow up with it, and you've had it for 10, 15, whatever, how many years it may be. Then all of a sudden, bang, you wake up one morning.
What am I going to do myself?
And it's not there, Al.
So Will, just when's the podcast out?
Podcast is out now. It's on the Following On podcast channel on talkSPORT. We've got Graham Swan, Steve Harmison, Marcus Truscothick, Bumble's on there as well, and of course Amanda Thorpe. So do give that a listen. And there's references to football, but it zooms in on how unique cricket is as a sport mentally.
Yeah. Okay, Will, thank you. Harmy coming up later on as well, around 7:45. Right, 7:15.
and good old boys were drinking whiskey and rum.
This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
Okay, 6:50. God, this top back is burnt up, by the way.
Killing you, is it?
Oh, cause I just see all these lips moving. I just got to guess what he's saying.
Oh, that happens on a regular basis, so they don't stop very
and
often.
old Dim Sum shaking his head as well. He knows it's chaos in here. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Ali's with me. How's this for starting 2026? This is brilliant. Thanks to our friends at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. You and a mate could win the ultimate trip of a lifetime to Las Vegas. What about this? Picture this, you and your best mate flying upper class from London to Vegas, checking into a luxury spa villa for 4 incredible nights at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, cheering from the stands at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders take on the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, and to top it all, we'll give you $5,000 cash to play with. Do what you like with it. So clear your calendar from January the 2nd to January 7, 2026, because nothing starts a new year like beautiful Vegas.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
That is a hell of a trip, Ali, isn't it? When was the last time you spent $5,000? Oh, you haven't. What am I talking about?
I thought you were going to say, when was the last time you were in Vegas? No, that's a different question.
That was a few years ago when I missed the flight home.
Is that story, you missed the flight home?
Well, there's a couple, actually. But anyway, we'll move on because Angelina's here. Angelina, what we got?
Yes, I am back, Al. It's time for a brand new feature and a bit of this.
Mind the gap.
Don't be stupid, YouTube. What are you talking about?
If you don't like it, Radio 4, Tube.
Ronnie's just confirmed it for me this morning. What a tube.
What tube has written that?
Don't sound surprised, you tube.
Back in your box, you tube. Oh, I've got to stop saying that. Angelina, where'd I come in here? What's going on?
So this is, of course, inspired by your YouTube catchphrase. We're showing a little bit of love for the talkSPORT YouTube shows. There we go. So I am, of course, on the Manchester United show Inside Devils. We've got a Newcastle show with Ollie Klink. There's the Inside Gooner show, the Liverpool show, but Inside Chelsea.
Ollie Klink, Newcastle. I thought he was Bayern Munich or Leverkusen or something.
I don't know. I think whatever he goes for when he wakes up.
I see nothing.
But the Inside Chelsea show, that's out now.
Known as the Colonel. Sorry, Angela, carry
brilliant, son.
So in the Inside Chelsea show, they are discussing tonight's game, the glamour clash with Barcelona. Adrian Durham, he will be hosting kickoff live from Stamford Bridge this evening at 7 p.m. So they're discussing that game, and also they're meeting with Arsenal at home on Sunday. So it's Olivia Bazaglo and Jason Cundy. They have their say on whether Chelsea can be considered as true title contenders.
Who's going to get a word in there, eh?
Other people are naturally going to put us in there because we're in the position we are, and the fact we have Arsenal at Stamford Bridge on
we might have
on the
no
weekend.
Choice. we might not have no say in this matter. We might find ourselves. I don't think we're ready to challenge for the title, but you know, that's the situation. Is as Matisse made the point. If we beat Arsenal, which we're more than capable of doing, by the way. We're more than capable. I don't think we will, but we're more than capable. We go 3 points. But I'm not sure that Arsenal feel. They just feel the more complete side, both 11, bench, squad. It just feels they've been built for this moment. I know you're not happy, Liv, right? The truth hurts sometimes. But we might find ourselves in a situation where we might be thrust into this. Now, I think that we have to put a front foot forward every single time. We've got some tough games coming up, but so have Arsenal. Let's see what happens by the end of this week. Who are we? I think this week will tell us a little bit about what this current Chelsea squad team really is. With the real Chelsea, please stand up.
I tell you what, I reckon in 3 days, them two could sort out Sudan and and Ukraine in just 3 days. I reckon they could
get a lot achieved.
I tell you what I think. I think you'll need a pair of headphones on top of your headphones for those two. Honestly.
Sorry, Angelina, what you got? We diverse.
Yeah, we do. But it's a big week for Chelsea. Where do you stand on the title contenders debate with them?
Well, I think they've got to lay a glove down and beat Arsenal at the weekend. And as Jason says, they could, but he doesn't think they will. I think we've still got some twists and turns to come. But Arsenal at the moment must be thinking, this is just going brilliant with City getting beaten.
Too good to be true, isn't it?
Absolutely. Everyone's just fallen by the wayside, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? And they must be thinking, this is our year. But Chelsea, I've got to say to ourselves, it's our gaff, it's our home at the bridge. If we beat them, we're banging this. 3 points. We're banging it.
100%.
They've got to believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think 100% they are. I mean, you're right when you're saying that. I mean, Arsenal have been so far excellent, absolutely excellent. That wonder free kick up at Liverpool beat them. Obviously, that aside, I think they've been different class. But Chelsea are. I'm actually with Jason on this one. Chelsea are capable of beating them, but I'm not sure they will.
Now, Inside Spurs will be out today, and last night on Sports Bar, Jamie O'Hara, I think he thought he was going to get a little bit of a break from the fallout of the North London derby because of the Man United loss, but he was very mistaken.
Has anyone seen Tottenham? Jamie O'Hara, can you hear me, Jamie O'Hara? Give us one hell of a beat in the big cock. We'll do me a favour, Tottenham. Thank you. 5 for 1. What was that? Can you hear me? 5 for 1. Give us one hell of a beat in Beyonce. You're a big champion. So Derek, you do. So Derek, do me a favour. So Derek, do me a favour. You do nothing. Can you hear me, Derek? Give us one hell of a beat in Beaver Town. Chicken. The Essex! The Essex! I need a belief! Oh, I saw it! This is a shambles! It's falling off! Hold on, let's carry on, hold on! It's gonna come, let's go! 3-point calf! Who made that? 3-point calf made the net! The first one! AJ Tracy! Can you hurry me, AJ Tracy? Give us a one! I love a beat in the Seven Sisters Great Station! And Spencer Oliver! Alan Richmond! Spencer Oliver! Alan Richmond! Alan Sugar! Michael McIntyre! Jamie O'Hara! Jamie O'Hara! Can you hurry me, Jamie O'Hara? Give us a one! I love a beating!
I mean, for those who can't see that was Jason Cundy with a Mikel Arteta mask on. Absolutely brilliant. I know that their producer Ryan has been working hard on getting those masks, but very quickly, I just wanted to ask, who is under the most pressure? You've got Thomas Frank, you've got Ruben Amorim, you've got Arne Slot, all of them on the same points. We obviously saw Cundy taking a swipe at Spurs and Frank, but
good question, that.
Who's under the most pressure?
Ali, who do you think?
Amorim.
Really?
I don't know. I'm thinking more of, I hope Liverpool don't sack Slot, because I think he will get it right. There's clearly, I think there's a problem in the dressing room. I think he will get it right. I think Frank might have a problem.
The way the fans are speaking, I think so.
Well, listen, you're talking about a man that won the title last year. Yes, he's under pressure. Of course, they're all under pressure. And I suppose Amorim is under slightly less pressure, come to think about it, because he's been given a vote of confidence by Jim Ratcliffe that says he's going to be there for 2.5 years or whatever it is. So, yeah, maybe Thomas Frank, but they've just changed their manager. They can't keep changing their manager, these teams, you know what I mean?
No. Well, he's still getting it, Daniel, isn't he? He's still getting it. Okay, we're going to move on. Angelina, thank you. By the way, Ali, have a little look in the break how well Cesc Fabregas is doing. They're 6th in Serie A. I remember there was Serie B down near the bottom.
They were?
And the Indonesians have taken over. And have a look now. He's doing a brilliant job, by the way. He could be next to come to the Premier for a big job.
I'll have a wee look.
Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
United fans, dear oh dear, just when you thought you turned a corner, bang. United 0, Everton 1, 10 men. What did you make of it? What did you make of keeping 3 centre-backs in the pitch when you need a goal against 10 man? It wasn't late on the sending off, was it? Did last night show that Ruben Amorim is not the right man long term? 03717 22 33 44 is the number you need. Get in touch, United fans, and talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook wants him out. He's with us next. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The Sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Ali's with me. How much longer will United fans put up with Ruben, the 5 at the back?
Mambo number 5.
And the referee blows the full-time whistle, and Everton have won it. There are boos inside Old Trafford on the anniversary of Ruben Amorim's first year in charge.
We'll hear the noise from outside, but he seems like the most stubborn manager. Change the formation as well.
This system is not going to work. It works in Europe, it works at Lisbon, but it's not going to work in the Premier League.
You need to maintain the things that you train. So sometimes it's hard. People want to see more people in the box. I know for sure that is not going to help.
The Manchester United revival is officially over. They've lost at home to Everton, who only had 10 men.
We've always been used to seeing 4-4-2, 4-3-3.
Totally new system for these players.
It is a new system,
it
does look like they could get hurt with it.
I don't understand it. I think he's dug himself a little bit of a hole by being so clear that he wanted to play that 3-4-2-1 system. This is what they're going to play, I'm not going to change.
My feeling is that that was the best decision to try to win the game.
Mambo number 5.
Yes, so despite, having 77 minutes, so 13 minutes, the red card comes out, 77 minutes at home against an Everton side with 10 men, Ruben refused to change his system and played the whole game with 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs. Everton left Old Trafford with all 3 points. John is now someone who tweeted this a month ago. What a turnaround for Manchester United the last few weeks. I never doubted Ruben Amorim's winky face emoji, and that was followed by this tweet last night. That's why Amorim is not the one to not change the flawed system against 10 men for... Oh, like that, that's harsh. That's harsh. Crookie, I'm sorry, Alex Crook. They are harsh. They're putting the boot in big style to you.
Do you know what? When I got the call up yesterday to do this 7 a.m. slot, I wondered why I'd been booked. Well, what could I possibly come on and talk about? So your producer's obviously a genius because he predicted what was to come at Old Trafford. That first tweet was tongue-in-cheek, by the way. I have consistently doubted Ruben Amorim and this 3-man at the back formation, and I can't get my head around it last night. This is an Everton team who've got nothing of substance up front when they've got 11 men, let alone 10. So the fact he's stuck with the 3 centre-backs at the bitter end, I think is a dereliction of duty from the manager. And just when you think things are turning the right way, this is a group of players who find new depths to sink to. I think that performance last night, in many ways, was worse than what happened against Grimsby in the League Cup and that humiliation. Yeah. Honestly, Ali, it was an appalling performance.
Ali, just as sorry, Crook, I'll come straight back to you. Ali, just as a layman, like you've managed, I haven't. You know, they're down 13 minutes down to 10 men. Why can't you just say, guys, listen, you know your set pieces, you know how to mark. Just go out and play. If you want to get forward, get forward. Don't worry about it. We've got an extra man. Just go and play.
I've said to you before, and I don't know what you think, Crookie. I think as a coach, right, particularly when you come into a club, I think you've got to play to the players' strengths straight away. If you've got your own players and you know them and you can build them into your own formation and your own style, that's great. But if you walk into any dressing room on the planet and the players that you have got are not suited to the shape that you want to play, or, more importantly, they're better suited to play a different style and a different formation, you have to adapt to them, I think. And I don't think United do that at all, Crookie. I look at that United team, I look at the United bench. The lack of forward players on your bench for me is really alarming, Crookie. And I think the first thing you do, I said to Alice this morning, the first thing you do if you're playing against 10 men and you get a man sent off, you make the pitch as big as you possibly can and you get width and you stretch the opposition. And I don't think they had players to do that, mate. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, listen, I would say that Matheus Cunha was a massive miss. Obviously, having picked up a head injury in training, the expectation was that he would be available last night. He wasn't, and I think United, right from the off, missed his energy, missed his urgency. The whole place was flat. The performance was flat. The atmosphere, to me, seemed very flat for a team who were 5 games unbeaten. But I take your point about making the pitch wide. It was they were far too narrow, and I think probably in the second half, the 2 players who had the most touches of the ball in forward areas were Luke Shaw, who was dreadful, and Lenny Yoro, who doesn't seem to know what to do with it. And you have to look at Manchester United and the DNA of the football club, and you guys go further back than I do. This is a club who are built on wingers, getting players on the byline, taking people on, getting crossed into the penalty area. Ryan Giggs would struggle to get into this team, by the way, because he doesn't suit the system. How ridiculous is that? And this is why, yes, you can blame the players, because I think they've got to take responsibility for barring Amad Diallo to a man, an utterly abysmal performance. But the manager's got to take responsibility as well, because he was saying afterwards, well, they didn't seem to know what they were doing against 10 men. I've got to talk them through the game. You shouldn't have to do that. But you're right, that just highlights the fact they're not comfortable in this formation. I know needs must, because there was no Cunha. But where on earth did he pluck Joshua Zirkzee from? This is a guy who's not scored a goal since December the 1st. And he looked completely unfit. He looked completely devoid of confidence. For me, Mason Mount should have played as the false number 9. They've done that at times this season. Again, if he's so rigid to this system, or if you haven't got the personnel, you haven't got Matheus Cunha, find a way to change it. You get paid a lot of money to be Manchester United manager. It's literally your job, Ruben Amorim, to get the best out of this group of players.
Yeah, Palace, is it Palace away at the weekend coming up, which is not easy?
No, that's a ground where United have come unstuck in recent seasons. And this was always the concern, Al, that was nagging away in the back of the minds of Manchester United players. And actually, the manager himself said before the game, well, you never quite know what you're going to get from this team. You should do after a year in charge. But they've picked up some good results, maybe where you wouldn't expect them to. Liverpool away from home, for example. And they've got a run of games now between now and the end of December. They play Wolves twice in December, where there's points to be won. these are the games where United slip up, and that tells me there's still a big mentality issue at Old Trafford.
Crookie, it's a funny one, mate. Al, it's a funny one. I think United, and tell me I'm wrong, Crookie, you watch them a lot more than I do. I think bizarrely, they actually might be suited to playing better teams so they can sit back, be an organised defence, and maybe try and hit them a little bit in the counter or get a set play. Because I just think, look at them, and I know you're talking about Cunha, and I get it. You know, Ahmad aside, I don't see a lot of creativity in the team. I really don't, mate.
There's not a lot of quality in the team, Ali. And again, I'm going to keep coming back to the system. Amorim says the system's not the problem. Clearly it is. Look at the two wing-backs last night. Yes, Jeremy Dorgu's been signed just because he plays in this formation. He is a terrible footballer. He gets himself in decent positions. He couldn't cross a road, Jeremy Dorgu. Mazraoui on the other side is the same. So you've got two players there who are absolute passengers when United are going forward. And you talk about maybe they're set up to hit teams on the counter-attack. I'm going to sound like a dinosaur here. That's not the Manchester United way. The Manchester United way is to impose themselves on the opposition with quality. And they're not doing that under this manager.
Yeah, no, I agree. Crookie, thank you. Don't worry, football changes, but that was hugely disappointing. But if you're a Toffee and Everton fan, you were at Old Trafford last night, let us know, by the way, because that was one hell of a result. Alex, nice one. Thank
Certainly
you.
Was.
Okay, right. 03717223344. Give us a call. Up next, we're going to talk Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough unveiling their new managerial tonight against Coventry. A new manager live on talkSPORT. Big decision. talkSPORT 2. We find out everything you need to know about him. That's coming next. Okay, 7:21. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark gets £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Ally McCoist with me. Right, what a night if you're an Evertonian. Finally, you managed to win at Old Trafford. Davy Moyes, proud man, going back across the M62. One very happy Everton fan phoned in the sports bar last night to have his say. The Everton fan was Tony Bellew, of course. Tony, very good morning. This is what Tony had to say.
Legs in the mouthpiece, you aren't giving any credit, are you? He's an absolute, all you have done is talk about Spurs doing Spursy things. That's all you have spoke about so far. Give the Blue Boys credit, lads. Come on. It's
terrible performance from Man United, though, Tone.
Listen, you little legs, calm it down right now, mate. We've just gone to Old Trafford. Me and me boys have just been in that crowd. 75 minutes with 10 men, and we've just taught them a lesson.
I tell you what, I have to say, Ali, Jamie, he's O'Hara's doing well here. He's getting pummeled. He's on the ropes. Bellew and co are just knocking, 7 bells. He's taking it very well, I'm just hoping he's not going to collapse.
He has to take it. I mean, if I ever been a man on talkSPORT set himself up for a fall, it's O'Hara. I mean, do you know what I mean?
He's a punch bag, isn't he?
He is. He's the HP of talkSPORT, the human punch bag of talkSPORT. That's what he is. And he's got a face you'd never get stopped using as a punch bag.
Right, coming up 7:22. Time for a wee bit of this. Boy. Here we go.
How can you not love the EFL when it throws up moments like this?
Here's Hawk!
Oh, it's come back to Zamora!
Kick off again! City fans can't believe it. What a match!
Windass! Quite simply destined to be from Team Windass.
We're in London. Hey, we're in London, aren't we?
Leeds can beat you 4-1. They're a fantastic team. But we had someone in the bushes that day twice this season now.
No sirve para nada.
I didn't know I would have such a reaction.
That ghost didn't head one in on Saturday. We didn't defend properly, you great chicken nuggets.
We hear that Jimmy Glass, the goalkeeper, has scored for Carlisle.
You just never know which twist any game is going to turn next.
Must I forever be a beggar?
7:23. Don't you just love that music? What a great movie as
Beautiful.
well. Right, we're going to talk a championship. Coventry running away with Angelina's back. Angelina, big game coming up.
Yes, it's
Not
second
half.
against first in the championship, live on talkSPORT 2 this evening. Middlesbrough against Coventry. Now, new Borough manager Kim Helberg will not be in charge. He's just been unveiled tonight, but he was actually asked about if the challenge of leading Borough to promotion is something that excites him.
Of course, I think that now we have been playing 16 games. I think that the team has shown that they are good quality players, that they have performed well, that they're working very hard, and I think that is a good ground to start at. And I think that's a perfect opportunity for me to come in and be clever and to try to keep building on what has been good and try to do small changes in what I think we can improve together. But I'm very impressed by the players, how they have worked and how Adi have worked the last 2 weeks in terms of the breakup. So I think there's a lot of good things that are happening here. And as I said, I'm very proud to be here.
He sounds like one of the Boers. What's his background, Angelina?
Yeah, so he was only appointed yesterday to replace Rob Edwards, who obviously left to join Wolves. So he's 37-year-old head coach. This is his first position outside of his homeland, Sweden. He was just at Hammarby for 2 seasons. He did well with them. Obviously, they're a small club, but they finished second in 2025 to Mjällby, who had a real fairy tale. So I know Ali's a big fan of that story.
Massive.
Yeah, I know that's your favourite. So yeah, he came second to them. So I don't know how you look at it, that he came second to some minnows, or he just did well to come second. But the question is the championship a bit of a big step up from that? It's such a grueling league with high expectations. Is he going to be ready? It's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, but are always there or thereabouts, aren't they? And the chairman's a very, very patient guy, but when it's time to cut, he cuts out change.
The chairman's been brilliant.
Listen, I've met Steve a few times. I would love to see him in charge tonight. I'd say, go on, get in there.
Yeah, what's he waiting for? He don't need unveiling.
I know it's Coventry who are flying, but get in there.
Best way to be unveiled is to get in there and get a win and get stuck in. I completely
be a
agree.
hero.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a great game, though. I've got to say, brilliant game match tonight. Coventry can look at it. Coventry have got an opportunity, looking at the league right now, to go 10 points clear.
What a comeback against the Baggies as well. And that's
brilliant. 2-0 up. They scored just before half-time. Do you know what's interesting? Right now, we love that league, right? Particularly on talkSPORT Breakfast. Absolutely love the Championship. I'm going to make a statement. I'm not sure, and I'm taking nothing away from MD. What does it tell you, right, about the league when the relegated sides are 8th, 10th and 16th? What does that tell you? Does that tell you that the league's not as strong? Does it tell you that the relegated teams are being very, very poor? Or does it tell you the opposite? Does it tell you the league's better? Because you would think not the relegated teams...
Well, relegated sides, without going into it forensically, you know, how many players have they left? How many players have left them because they're not going to play in the Championship? But the Championship, the games come thick and fast, don't they? You don't get me, you know, and it's, you know, it's so competitive, bottom against top. So, you know, I think the cream will rise towards the end, but, you know, it's a tough league.
Makes it interesting as well, doesn't it?
Oh, I really like the Championship.
Yeah, 100%.
I just like
I was talking to Billy the Cab today on the way in. Oh, Millwall, we went down to Pompey. It was the only time they've won and they beat us. But that's the Championship for you.
Yeah.
By the way, Millwall are sitting 7th. I would suggest to you that Millwall are having a great season.
Pompey gubbed them at the weekend, didn't they?
I know they did. And I accept that. But the league is so, as you say, Al, it's Saturday, Tuesday. It is so competitive. It's unbelievable. But I don't care what MD says. You look at that club, Coventry, right? And you look at what they've been through the last 20, 30 years. I think it's fantastic where they are, you know, as a club. Never mind, you know, the football team. I just mean get the fans have got their club back. They've got a place to play. They've got a stadium. They've got new owners, and they're flying. So I think more power to them. I think Frank's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Angelina, thank you. Right, we're going to talk. What we're going to talk about next? Leeds United? I think so. Right, coming up 7:28 on talkSPORT.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Okay, 7:33 talkSPORT breakfast with me, Brazil, Ally McCoist, our friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. 03 717 22 3344. After Crookie's rant, the United fans have been calling in left, right and centre. They're not happy. Toby's a United fan. Let's bring him on to the show. Toby, very good morning, mate.
Morning, Toby.
Morning, lads. How we doing?
Not bad. Mate. We're just trying to get at the bottom of last night. You know, ridiculous. 13 minutes gone. Take nothing away from Everton, but United were poor.
Last night, lads, the worst performance I've ever seen United. I've been a season ticket.
Is Toby still there? We'll try and get Toby. Give us a call back. We'll try and get hold of you. Was it that bad, Alistair, last night? I went there with 30 minutes. I went to bed with half an hour to go, to be honest, because I thought
it was disappointing. I mean, it was really disappointing. But big Tony Bellew's got a point. We're probably not giving Everton enough credit here.
No, I think we are.
You know what I
mean? I think we are, but we're losing the fact that because we're not talking so much about Everton is because 13 minutes in the game is not a lot. You know what I mean? It's not a lot, and then suddenly United. Pickford made some cracking saves, there's no doubt about it, but United should have pulverised them then. It should have been all one-way traffic. That's what we're getting at. Back to Toby. Toby, you were saying?
Pickford makes some great saves. That's not the point. Everyone's saying about United playing this counter-attacking football and all this. That's not Man United way. Taking the game, teams, destroying them. Last night we looked absolutely awful. And I'm telling you what, I was sat in the stretch for them last night and you could hear a pin drop. It's absolutely embarrassing. So where do we go from here? I've backed Ruben since he's come in, but I'm sorry, last night there's going to be some serious questions asked. And
Toby, I've got a quick question for you, mate. I've got a quick question, if I can ask you this, Toby. Do you think you've got the players to take the game to the top teams?
Not at all, no. Everyone's saying I've got an easy run of games and all this. There's not an easy run of games, but everyone's saying, we're going to get European football and all this. Can you imagine going to Bayern Munich on Wednesday night and playing them? They've put 10 past us.
Yeah.
Never mind beating Everton, a 10-man Everton at home.
So the problem is, Toby, if you get rid of Amarin, who's out there? Who do you see coming in?
I'm not saying get rid of Amarin. I like the lad, and I think I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. I'll always back the manager. But last night was absolutely shocking.
Okay, Toby, thank you. Okay, Toby, so one of the worst performances seen for a long, long time. Ali, I think you have a great point. I'm trying to get my head around Manchester United's bench to change things. Let's get 3 off, 3 on. And I'm thinking, I don't know half of them.
What? They've got no forward-thinking players. Well, really no forward-thinking players. And if I'm wrong, United boys will tell me. Darlow defender, Martinez, Mount, come on. Malacia, Ugarte, Menu, come on. I mean, they're good players, Alan, but if you're going to chase a game and you need something to go and win, do something different against 10 men, create something, score a goal, I'm not really seeing it for that Manchester United bench. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't see it. What do you think? We've already spoke yesterday. You and I spoke yesterday about the benches.
Yeah.
The benches at the Etihad and the Emirates, for example.
Yeah.
Dear me.
No, I agree.
Unbelievable.
No, Ali, you're right. And you think the money that United have spent, you think, well, who spent all this? It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, from one United to another United, after a promising start to the season for Leeds United, 8 points from the first 6 games, which is a good return from a promoted club. But since then, it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. And Farker, he's another one bang under pressure.
Full-time whistle goes, and Tottenham Hotspur become the first team to beat Leeds United in a league game at Ellen Road in over a year.
Came here to win some points, and we didn't win any points, so for that we are disappointed on this level. Best league in the world, small details.
If they look like they're not responding to the manager, or they don't look like they're with the manager, fair enough. The reaction from the fan base has been a positive with Daniel Farker and the team.
What do you want him to do? He's never been given a chance.
Full-time, Burnley 2, Leeds 0. Burnley ending a 6-game run without a win. 1 win in the last 7 for Leeds, but it's Burnley that take the point.
Finished Brighton 3, Leeds 0. A brilliant Brighton performance. They cruised past Leeds to 3 points here this afternoon.
Daniel Farke's always had a rough deal, because when he came up with Norwich, they give him nothing. He never complained, he just got on with it, and they got relegated.
This group of players was never made for competing on Premier League level. There's also no secret.
Yeah, Leeds fans booze at the end of the game. Maybe the second goal if they get the equaliser, maybe not. But Leeds are doing okay. But it's goals. They need goals, don't they? Big Nige, a friend of mine, a big Leeds fan, he'd be gutted. Absolutely. Let's get some more on the situation at Ellen Road. It's not all doom and gloom and just yet. And cross over to Leeds United writer at The Athletic. Berin Cross joins us. Berin, a very good morning, Berin.
Good morning, Berin.
Morning, chaps. Hope you're doing well.
Very well, Berin. This was never going to be easy, was it? Get at the end of the day, Premiership. It's never going to be easy. Every game is tough as hell. You got a great start. It was a cracking second goal, wasn't it? And then you get one, and it's disallowed. So, is it press the panic button here with Farker, or is it just he doesn't have the finances to go and get a goal scorer?
That's absolutely what Daniel wouldn't do. I think he's been guarding against panic since he's been in the job. Really, I think he's well aware and has reminded people quite often how emotional Leeds United can be as a football club, and I think that has started to irk some of the fans. Really, the way he talks about the passion, the way the world goes down, whether they lose or even draw a game when they're in the Championship. So I think there is some realism here, and I don't think there is panic just yet. I just think there is a growing unease with the decision-making that Farker carries out in some of these games. And unfortunately for him, whilst the fixture list is nothing more than just playing every other team twice, momentum, narrative, morale, they are all very active factors in a 9-month season. And unfortunately for Farker, the fixture list as it is means that everyone is very, very worried that it could be something like 1 win in 9, 10 or 11 games by the time we see some light at the end of the tunnel. And again, unfortunately for him, that is something that fans are very worried about. And then the ownership, even more importantly, who will make the decision, will have some growing anxiety about as well. They just didn't pick up the points, as some of your commentaries there alluded to. They didn't quite pick up the points in those games where they should have done, like Spurs at home, Bournemouth at home. They should have won that game. They completely outplayed Bournemouth, one of the stories of the season at Ellen Road. And they just haven't created that buffer 4 runs like Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. So it is.
So Ben, it's not as if there's no light. It's not as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there's performances there that just tweaked her a little bit of luck. You know, could have got you 3 points. You know, I look at you know, if you imagine a Wolves fan at the moment, what you're thinking. You know, Wolves down already. You know, Leeds have got a fighting chance here.
No, and you're absolutely right, Alan. And we've tried to reflect that in our coverage that there is another 26 games to go. And you know, by a very rough estimate, they need something like 7 wins and 6 draws across 26 games, 13 of which will be at Ellen Road. It's very, very achievable when you look at the big picture. And maybe that is what the ownership will do. That's certainly what Farke is saying. He's saying, you know, people do need to avoid panic. There is a long way to go yet. We were going to lose a lot of games as a newly promoted club. And I don't know if there's been enough in what Sunday was definitely better. The previous losses at Forest and at Brighton were very, very damaging and demoralising. So there was definite improvement on Sunday, but I just wonder whether there was enough improvement to really satisfy people. There were no noises from the club yesterday, good or bad, either backing him or suggesting there might be a change. So clearly they are giving some thought to this before they come out and say something or start briefing the local journalists. Yeah. So it will be interesting to see what they do. You guys will know there's various sort of dynamics in that. Do you let a new manager go and take the City, Chelsea, Liverpool games, risk losing the new manager bounce, but getting on with it, giving them time on the training pitch with them? Or do you give Farke these 3 Hail Marys to maybe try and save his job?
They've got really tough games coming up, Ben. There's no doubt about that. And I do take your point. I've watched the games against Bournemouth, Spurs and Villa, and I think Leeds can consider themselves very, very unlucky. But I think it's the kind of, well, not age-old problem, but it's certainly a problem that a lot of clubs have, and I include kind of Everton. As you look at Everton, you look at Leeds, and I think to a certain degree, you know, where are the goals going to come from, mate? Yeah. I think Everton are fine defensive, and I think they'll always be okay, but you worry sometimes where their goals go. But I look at Leeds, I think the goal at the weekend kind of sums them up, but they certainly looked livelier and more of a threat when they went. 2 things, when they went 2-1 down and the substitutions get made, they certainly looked livelier, I felt, in front of goal.
Yeah, the substitutions is the big thing, Ali, in that, you know, ever since Farke came in, even through the 2 championship seasons where, you know, they picked up 190 points over 2 years, very, very good in the championship, and were unlucky to not go up in that first season via the playoff final. Yeah. So the substitutions, even when the results have been there, have been a bit of a question mark in the way Farke manages games tactically, the timing of his subs. I mean, on Sunday was the loudest the dissent has been on the terraces, in that they were chanting for him just to make a sub in the 63rd minute, and we didn't see Calvert-Lewin or Dan James for another 8 minutes after that. You know, you go back to the Forest game before the break, Dyche makes a triple change in the 59th minute, goes and wins the game. Farke waits another 15 minutes before making a change. And to all of us mere mortals in the terraces who aren't professional football managers, it was so clear it wasn't working and they needed to use the bench they had. So definite frustrations with those substitutions. But you're right, Ali. I think in the first part of the season, when the results were decent and the performances were promising, it felt like the defence was going to be solid. I think the XGC was very, very low. It was one of the best in the league. I think only City, Newcastle, Arsenal had a leaner defence in those first 6 games. But crucially, the errors were still there. The goals were still slipping in. But at the other end, they weren't scoring. And now, of course, we see the goals are going in at one end and they're still not being scored at the other end.
Ben, a nice one. Let's see what happens. City up next. Oh, dear. Ben and Cross there from the Athletic talking about his beloved Leeds United. Right, still to come on Breakfast, coming up 7:45.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Yeah, some cracking names coming up with us, starting with 3-time Six Nations winner and traitor finalist, come on. Big Joe's in. Joe Marler in just under an hour's time ahead of Chelsea Barcelona tonight, Champions League. Chelsea ledge, lovely man Gianfranco Zola will join us to tell us if Maresca's side can pull off a shock, and of course looking ahead to Chelsea against the Arsenal. And Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder will be with us after their victory in the Steel Derby against Sheffield Wednesday. Don't go away. It's a cracker coming up. That was a look ahead, all thanks to our brilliant Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Okay, 10 minutes to 8 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Super Ali with me. A story was spotted in the Sun this morning. Football and telly can cost £1,254 a year in the UK, research has shown. Compare that with Spain, who pay just £109 to watch the football in the DAZN package, which covers all competitions. A record 5 million UK fans turn to illegal web streams to avoid these costs. Ali, you have to give me some of these addresses, these illegal websites, because I just can't get them, mate.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you, that is ridiculous, though.
That's a big difference, isn't it? I know.
Oh, mate, it's more than 10 times. Have a think about that. So we're paying 10 times to watch your football in the box than they are in Spain.
Well, the problem is, though, Ali, some people get paid $3 million a year for doing 6 TV different stations, you know, and they've got to find it from somewhere, haven't they?
Now, you're missing the point here. You're missing the point entirely, big fella. I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, the campaign starts now. But I'm with you, though. I sit and watch. I mean, I'm the worst ever, though. I watch everything that's on the telly, Al. I mean, seeing Sunday. I mean, I started off on Sunday with the Sheffield derby, me at 12 o'clock, right? And then I'm watching everything after it, whether it's Leeds, whether it's blinking.
No. Football's taking over our lives. Well, it always has done. I think it's worse now.
I watched Aberdeen Hearts as well, man. I'm floating between channels just to get a game sitting on that couch, man. I'm ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Right, okay, it does seem crazy money. Now, on a serious note, with a chat earlier, there's a great podcast out. It's tragic, really. A little early we brought in talkSPORT reporter Will Hobbs, to speak on former England cricketer Graham Thorpe. He recently interviewed his wife after, 17 years? Amanda Thorpe, who believes her husband would still be alive if the ECB had given him more support after his sacking in 2022. Let's hear a bit of the interview now.
I think maybe, I don't know, companies they don't really want to admit any wrongdoing, do they? I'm disappointed that they're not prepared to have any scrutiny or look back on or discuss even what they did, because they were just keen to say, well, we didn't know and we haven't done anything wrong. Whether that's for legal reasons, then it may be, but this is also about helping, changing things and helping the next generation and making things better in the future.
So the big question here is, and it's a difficult one, by the way, and I'm so sorry for Amanda's loss and for cricket's loss. They tell me he was a lovely fella. So could the ECB have done more to support Graham? Let's bring former England teammate Steve Harmison. Harmy, a very good morning.
Morning, Harmy.
Morning, Tally. Morning, Alan.
Harmy, this is horrible, really. It's a horrible story. And I wasn't really aware, to be honest, Harmy, that the problems that ex-cricketers have had in the past, it's historic. The type of problems that when people finish the game, the pressure they're under, the long journeys away. I wasn't aware. I think Ronnie Rani first brought it up and spoke about this. And now we read, and we hear from Amanda. It's very, very sad, Harmy. How are you taking all this in?
Well, it was difficult to sort of listen to Amanda last night. I was part of that. I was in that documentary, and as we all know, there's a series with me and Leon McKenzie about the struggles that players, men and women have when they come out of sport. And Amanda's highlighting one specific area, which was obviously the video that came out at the end of the last Ashes, which Graham sadly lost his job on. And I think you've listened to one little extract there. I think it's about 5.5 minutes long that I've heard of Amanda, and she speaks very openly, very honestly, very balanced about Graham's life and what happened with Graham and how he got to the point where, devastatingly, he decided that it would be better off if he wasn't here no more. So I think this is something that we all need to listen to. I think we all need to sort of take on board, and we all need to, I think there's two sides. There's always two sides to every story. So the ECB will have their side, but listening to Amanda talking about one of my greatest teammates. I mean, growing up, if in my era, if you're aged between 45 and 55, if you were a batter growing up, you want to be Graham Thorpe. If you were a bowler growing up, you want to be Darren Gough. This is a great player. Having spent a lot of time in a dressing room with Gray, he had his vulnerabilities. But as a person, he was sensational. Great man, great to have around. And at the end, you listen to Amanda and the struggles that he had. I think it has to be listened to, and it has to be acted on, because, like she said there, we don't want anybody else to sort of go through this. And a lot of us that played with Gray, like the era of Master Hussain and Michael Atherton and Alex Stewart and players like that, we'll all feel that little bit more guilty that we couldn't have done. We could have done more. You can do more. You speak openly and honestly, and that's what Graham did to his wife. But did we know the full extent of what was going on behind closed doors? Probably not. Did he need more help? Of course, he needed more help.
Well, the signs were there, Harmy, weren't they? The signs were there.
Yeah, they were there. They were there, and what I urge people to do is listen to what Amanda says rather than read in print, because I think in print it looks one thing, but Amanda was very balanced, and she was very I think she was very calm in the way she talked about, honestly, the experiences she had once Graham had left the ECB to where he found himself on that morning in Surrey.
It's horrible.
Tragic, man. Just
Harmy, we're going to hear a lot more about it, and rightly so. Harmy, just on to the Ashes now. Crikey, that was incredible. The first innings, unbelievable. Second innings, disaster for England. I took your advice, Harmy. I thought England would go close to winning this series. They've now got the pink ball in Brisbane, night and day. It was interesting. Mark Butcher was saying, Harmy, and it makes a lot of sense to me that when Stark had the ball in his hand, he was the guy they had to give respect to. Don't try and smash him out of the ground. He was the big danger, and they fell for it.
Yeah, they did. There's two ways of looking at it as well. I mean, there's one trying to sort of combat what Mitchell Stark does, and the other is, I mean, that's very difficult. This guy's a world-class performer. He's got 400 plus Test match wickets, so it's easy saying you sort of respect him and try and defend him. The other thing is actually doing it. You play against a footballer if you're a defender, and he's got tricks, he's got pace, how to try and get to combat him. But when he runs past you for the fourth time, you're going, well, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. This is what Mitchell Stark does. He's a fantastic performer. The worrying thing for me is the knock-on effect of this. England, over the course of 3.5 years in the McCollum and Stokes, have been able to park it, move on, and just keep going the way they're going and not worry about what's happened. I think one of their biggest qualities is about looking forward and looking at the game that we've got and forget what we've just done. That's all well and good, but not in Australia. This is the challenge of this group. Can they bounce back from that?
Would you make any changes, Harmy?
Well, there will be changes in the bowling lineup, and that another thing. I mean, we haven't got long enough for me to dissect this, but the bowl. This is where you potentially become fractured in a group, because England have been bowled out twice in 405 balls.
Yes.
And the changes will be in the bowling department. It won't be in the batting department. And if I was one of them bowlers, the sort of histrionic sometimes I had when I got left out, I'd be brain dozing and winders. I'd be bouncing people off the wall. If Ben Stokes, Brendan McCullum came to me and said, "Homie, you're not playing this game." But them seven batters are, and they've just been bowled out twice for 400 balls. That's where sometimes you can get an issue. So we might see just one change, Mark Wood getting protected. We might see the same team and just say, you got us in this mess, get on with it and put it right. Got to remember, England had a brilliant first day. A shocker at the second day. Yeah, I am still, but unfortunately now I'm 3-2 Australia, where I was 3-2 England. England will still win games in Australia because of the mentality they have. But unfortunately, the pressure they're under now, wow, they're going to have to come back with some big kahunas to sort of get them back in this series.
Harmy, I've got to break, but just very briefly, Crawley, does he start? And Joe Root, what'd you say to Joe?
Oh, well, you don't say anything to Joe. You just say pick your bat up and get on with the game. Joe's played 160 Test matches. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not worried about Joe one bit. But the Zach Crawley one, there's nothing you can do. We haven't got any spare openers. We've got Will Jackson, we've got Jacob Bethel. Zach Crawley has been in this position many times before. People talking about his place. He'll come out swinging. Hopefully the ball doesn't bounce as much, and he will get off to a good start in Brisbane. That's what we need to hope, because there's nobody else to come in, and he will still be at England's opener, I think, come Sydney at the end of it. And then people will make their decisions on his career, where he goes from there. But hopefully, for Zach's point of view, he gets off to a good start, because the boy can be dangerous, and the boy can put the pressure on the opposition. But unfortunately, when you hard hands the way he had in Perth, I think there was always going to be one outcome.
Top class, Harmy. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, Harmy. Good to
Nice
see
day.
you, pal.
Right, for more on Will Hobbs' podcast, Head Before Wicket, on how some of England's cricket's biggest names have fought with depression and how the game is adapting. It features Marcus Trithkothick, Graham Swan, Michael Vaughan. This is talkSPORT Breakfast.
Knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4 of them are not managers. The terms manager and head coach are often used interchangeably to describe Premier League bosses, but they're actually two different jobs. So let's explain how and why. For years, fans referred to Mikel Arteta as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
I don't think so, no.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025 there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Alan Brazil and Ally McCoist. Ali, tell us again, you're at City, aren't you? And then you're doing the Rangers game, aren't you? Is it Thursday?
Doing the Rangers game Thursday. I'm at City tonight, mate, Leverkusen. Looking forward to that. Heading down here after a show.
Tomorrow?
And then I'm coming down to London. And I'm got Arsenal Bayern Munich, which I'm looking forward to on Wednesday.
Cracker.
I'll see you Thursday morning, pal.
I hope you're not going to meet up with Party Parlour, are you? Cause,
no. I've watched his recent form, mate, and he's scared me off the premises.
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
He scared me off the premises, mate.
I know. I've not spoke to him since. I looked at the video, I thought, oh dear. Right, everyone's talking about one thing this morning. Back page of The Sun this morning. Idrissa hit Pal to the kisser. The Mirror goes slapdash United and Express goes slappy Mondays. So, should red cards really be given for teammates scrapping with each other?
Oh, there's a fight going on here between 2 Newcastle players. Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer are having a fight. Goodness me, what on earth is going on?
I said to him, pass me the ball, obviously a little bit more than that.
Please.
And then he said something back, and then we ended up walking towards each other, and the rest is history.
It happened so quick, but it was like in slow motion, because I can remember in my head going, I can't believe he's punching me in front of 52,000 people.
It's a red card. Idrissa Gana Gueye fighting with his own player, I think. He was fighting with Michael Keane. They were arguing between the two of them. him, and the red card has come out.
Do you know something that I quite like when my players have a fight? I'm sort of saying I want them to be tough. I don't want them to accept somebody not doing well enough.
The game's gone. I don't say that lightly. It's a game played by tough working class men, and if you have a little row against each other and it's your own player and you're going to send him off and spoil the game for 60,000 people.
Yeah, I'm with you. Don't worry about that. But before I come back to that, Ali, you were telling me earlier, live on air, that you and Gaza had a bust-up down the tunnel half-time. What happened? What brought it on?
Oh, man alive. It was the League Cup final, and Hampden was out of action. We played at Celtic Park. We're playing the Hearts, and he's coming through. And I went to go long and then come back for him. It'd be a wall. And as I came back, he played it in behind.
Right,
and then,
got you.
And then 2 minutes later, done the opposite. I've came short and then went behind and he's played it short.
Yeah.
So it's one of the ones, he's threw the hands up in the air and all that stuff. And I went, here, come here, you. and the two of us squared up with each other. It was brilliant. And then the referees got in between us and then we're still having an argument, get up the tunnel. And then Walter came up and just about pinned him up on the board. You know,
did he?
His wee legs were dangling for the clothes peg.
So there was no punches thrown then? It was all verbal?
Oh, it was all verbal. It was kind of close at one point, but it was all verbal.
Well, last night, after 13 minutes, of course, Everton, incredibly down to 13 minutes down to 10 men. Gay saw red in the 13th minute. To be honest, yeah, there was a bit of a slap, but it was with a big centre back. And for me, referee just got hold of him and say, hey, come on, you two, calm down. I think, was it Danny Murphy earlier was saying that it's killed it for a lot of the vast amount of the crowd. The Everton fans wouldn't care less because they could go home with 3 points with 10 men. But from a spectacle point of view, I'm like, oh, no, don't send them off. I'm sorry. Again, it's lack of common sense. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I agree totally with you. And I know, Alan, I keep harping back to it, right? And I know it's a different sport, but could you imagine the rugby boys watching that last night?
Well, Joe Marler's coming on a bit. And he's going to laugh.
Man, there's a very man will ask, right? There's a very man will ask.
Yeah.
I mean, when our sport needs a bit of good PR about being men and getting on with the game and just picking yourself up, dusting yourself down and getting on with it, and we're sending people, we're sending teammates off for things like that. Listen, and
a slap like that, Ali, doesn't even. It's a wasp bumping into you, isn't it? You know,
but that's my
it's
point.
Not exactly an elbow or a headbutt. It's just a, you know, it's.
But that's when I read the law. The law said, you know, I thought the slap was negligible, and that's why I think a referee could have used common sense. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
It's common sense. Just get the two of them again and say, come on, you, stop embarrassing yourselves, go on with the game.
Correct. And sort it out. Know? Sort it out at half-time or sort it out at full-time in the dressing room.
Correct. That's
right.
what I'm
yeah, away from the slap, let's hear from Manchester United fans. You're raging, by the way, and it just when it looked things might be turning a wee bit as well. You've been calling in all morning and are not happy. 03717 223344. Steve's a United fan. Steve, we'll take a quick call before the break. Steve, good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Morning. You all right, lads?
Yes.
Well, brilliant, mate.
Yeah, you could see it going back to normal and all that. He had a couple of good games where they had 3 wins. Now, he's got to go. He's clueless. It should have been, as soon as he got off last night, he should have changed it.
Yeah.
No, he's too pig-headed. As I said to the lady earlier, I'd rather have Gareth Southgate than him, at least, because at least Southgate would change things. But he's just... The team he's picking as well, that's Zerkty up front. My mate calls him Luke, he calls him a basketball player. Because that's all he is. Tall and clumsy. But yeah, I don't know about you, what you think, lads, and all that.
Well, Steve, just a quick one from me, and Ali touched on it earlier. You know, when you look about, when he says, right, this is not working, I've got to change it, you look at the bench, with the greatest respect to the bench, you know, they're all professional footballers, but it's not like an Arsenal bench or a City bench, is it?
No, nowhere near now. Nowhere near. It didn't help having two of the lads out we bought in the summer out injured and that, but that didn't help in that like that. But it must have been somebody better on the bench than to play Xerxes in front and all that. And the other two out wide, You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ali, what would you have done, Ali? Like, you've managed, Ali. How would you have changed it? I'd have gone attack me.
Well, the first thing I'd have probably done was maybe go into a back four and get a bit of width onto the pitch. You know, that's
but
what
they
I'd
had
have
one
done.
up front, didn't they? You know, you could even play 2 against 1, flood the midfield, get people forward.
But when you go to a back four, right? I mean, I'm obviously not saying in an attacking sense. You need your fullbacks to push up, and you've got 2 marking the one. She can handle that. That's no problem at all. But your back four, I think, gives you a little bit of stability. I'd get people in wider areas. I say make a pitch bigger, Alan, and stretch the game and take the game to them.
No, definitely, it was a huge disappointment. Keep them coming. Right, coming up, we've Viv listening. We'll find out if Ali has started his Christmas shopping, or is he waiting for the January sales? Has he been in the Rangers club shop yet, making the most of that discount? 22% discount he gets now. We'll find out next. don't know what's up with my producer this morning. I really
What's happening?
I think he's either been watching Love Actually or he wants a drum set for Christmas. I don't know what's up with him. Huh? What is wrong with him? This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get a £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Ali's with me. Right, a story that caught our eye in the papers this morning. More than 3/4 have already finished their Christmas shop. What? A month before the big day? I love a Christmas Eve shop, don't you, Ali?
Yes.
When you've had a few and you think, right, here we go, shopping time.
It's perfect, isn't it? Isn't it perfect? Last minute, about 4:30.
And then you leave some of them in a bar or a restaurant. You're like, oh no.
Or worse still, in the train back to Johnson.
When you have you done any shopping yet?
Are you having a laugh?
I know it was a stupid question, but I've got to ask it. It's down here.
No, in answer to that question, no. And I'll ask you an even stupider one of you.
I've done one, actually. Yeah,
Seriously?
I've done one. Yeah, I've done one. Yeah, and I'm not saying for who or what, but I've done one.
Ow. We're a month away, mate. We're not even in December.
It doesn't
what are you
matter.
thinking about?
I'm getting in the mood right now. It was that cold snap, honestly. Right, what would you get? Let me quick fire. What would you get Gabby for Christmas?
Oh man, what could you get Gabby? Let's have a think about this. What could you get Gabby? What are you thinking?
I think you'd have to have. I was going to say a personality, but no, I didn't mean that.
Do you know what you'd need to get Gabby?
A compass?
An atlas. An atlas. You know what I mean?
Mountain ranges of the world.
Exactly. I mean, remember that one? I answered about Mount Everest. I asked him one
in
Europe. That was a belter. And I asked him one the other week. I says, "Where are the Andes?"
I know.
And he says, "On the end of my wristies."
What about the chunk? What do we get the chunk? Oh dear.
What do we get? How about 3 points? Can we get the chunk 3 points? I mean, he must be so depressed at this moment in time, Chunky. And you're right, he's taking a hell of a well. He has taken a hell of a well.
Cundy, I don't know what do we get Cundy? Cundy's, I think he's losing the plot, Cundy, you know. It is funny. I think a defibrillator might be good for Cundy. Because he's going to keel over.
The way he's going with that clown's outfit, we need to get him a defib. We should have one of them in the studio for the two of them, actually.
Or maybe a video for Christmas, The Greatest Showman?
Yes, well, he is. He's very, very good. Very good.
Right.
By the way, never mind that. Have we got a Christmas party organised? Have we got a Christmas?
There is a Christmas party, yes. Yes, it's meant to be a bit of a secret. I don't know why, honestly. Because you're a busy man. You're probably working that night. You're probably doing Inverness Thistle, I guess, is party thistle or something.
By the way, just for the record.
Or Bucky Thistle.
When was somebody going to inform me when the Christmas party is, just as a matter of interest?
I think someone said earlier that, you're a no-show, so they've not bothered inviting you, which I think is harsh. I think that's harsh.
I'll be right. I take those bandits out for the Christmas lunch, by the way, and if I don't get invited to the party, the place will be in uproar.
Well, you've not taken me out for Christmas lunch.
I take wee Ed and Ollie and the boys out for a bit of lunch. You come as well. You're more than welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'll find out the day of the Christmas. But no, it was a big secret, and I don't know why. Anyway, right. We're a month away from the big day. Are you ready in the Christmas spirit? Are you out and about doing your shopping? Have you done any yet? We'll head over to Virgin Radio and their special Christmas channel to get you in the mood. Have a go. Go on. Just swipe on the app to get all your Christmas tunes. By the way, there's a big golf game due. Virgin versus Talk. That's coming up soon. I'll bring you more details on that. Yeah, I might have to get the clubs out, Ali. Definitely. Right, let's get this latest sporting odds now. That's happening with our good friends at Coral, and someone who's definitely on Santa's naughty list. Has he got any prezzies yet? John Hill. Morning, John.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, John, your Christmas gift has got to be Boxing Day, innit? A free ticket for Kempton.
Yes.
It is, yes. Listen, Boxing Day is the best day of the year, isn't it? Forget Christmas Day. You get that out of the way, the boring day, and then you've got King George, you've got
the boring day.
Well, I say boring day. There's no sport. That's the problem I have with Christmas Day. You get to Boxing Day, you just can't wait for it, can you? The big race in Kempton Aintree. You've got a good card. And then the football as well, Ali.
John, let me tell you, mate, your Christmas has come early. Sitting top of that league, boy. Come on.
What a deal.
Yeah, top of the league. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is. We're absolutely flying.
What division are you? Is it Northern Premier you're in now? Or I'm losing track.
No, this National League now, honestly, this National League now, it's as professional as there is out there. For me, it's the fifth league, of the pyramid. It could well be League 3, really. And I know that... Jeff's doing some great work behind the campaign to get 3 teams promoted because it really needs to be. We're flying high. I had a great win last Saturday and, looking forward to it. Hopefully we can continue.
What about just a quick one before we get into football? Kempton, Boxing Day, King George. Who do you fancy?
Great race.
Well, did you see that race on Sunday in Ireland, the John Durkin?
Brilliant.
What a race that was.
And we said earlier, Gaelic Warrior was the horse that got beaten by Brazil at Cheltenham when we had that,
that's right.
monster day. Oh.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, that was a brilliant performance on Sunday, beating Factor File. Showed great heart, didn't it, on that running. When it got past after the last, I thought, that's it, Factor File will win the race, but showed great heart. And now 6-4 favourite for the King George. Could be an absolute cracker. Harry Redknapp, a guy you boys both know, he's got the jukebox man, 5-1. He looks to have a great chance for Ben Paulin. Jago Bay as well in there for Nicky Anderson, 3-1. And should be really good. He had a good horse yesterday at Kempton, did Harry. Sonic Pioneer, just written it down. He had he's 25-1 now.
How's he doing that with one horse and keep changing the names? Mrs. Redknapp. I think she's in Gabby's camp, isn't she? She's a bit
she thinks he's only got one horse. Yeah, that's right. But
right, on the football before I get in trouble. Chelsea, Barca.
Yeah, good game that, isn't it? These two had some great battles, didn't they? Remember the early noughties, great battles in the Champions League. And Chelsea a bit of form exactly at the right time of the season. So they're 6-5 favourites tonight. But I think Barca at 15-8 will attract.
But John, can we just give the punters a bit of warning here? It's Chelsea Arsenal at the weekend. You know what I mean?
Point.
So a little bit of warning here. Wait till you see the teams before you dive in.
100%, yeah, absolutely right. Massive game, and if Chelsea, have got their eye on winning that Premier League title because they're the closest team to Arsenal, then he might just rest a few tonight, Maresca. And he's known for doing that, isn't he? He's the Chelsea boss. So yeah, keep an eye on that team sheet. 8:00 kickoff. That'll come out around 7:00. The draw 29-10, and then
Ali's game, City against Leverkusen.
City Leverkusen, John. I'm at that one tonight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. City will be looking to bounce back, won't they? Disappointing defeat against Newcastle at the weekend. They're 2-9 favourites tonight. I think there'll be a lot of people's accumulators. Leverkusen 10-1 to come away from the Etihad with 3 points. And then Newcastle, they're not so great on the road, are they, Newcastle? Fantastic at St James's Park, but they can't buy a win on the road. They're 29-20 to beat Marseille tonight. Marseille 9-5 was always a tough place to go, Marseille, back in the day, boys. Have you both played there? Is it still tough?
No, it was a tough place. I was there. I was there. We played them, John, in the
Velodrome. Is it the
first champion? Yeah,
it is the
first
Velodrome.
Champions League.
Nice stadium.
We got a 1-1 draw there, John. And I tell people a story. We were well deserving of the 1-1 draw, and it was the first Champions League, 92-93. And if we'd managed to get one more goal, John, in that game. I know it's all ifs and buts, but if we'd managed to get one more goal in that game, we would have made the first Champions League final.
That's old Popeye Doyle there, eh? Remember him, Popeye Doyle?
Oh, Popeye Doyle. What a film.
French Connection.
What a film.
Here's your curveball, John Hills. What price Rachel Reeves to be gone 2 weeks after tomorrow?
Well, it's obviously a big budget tomorrow, so we're all very nervous about that across the country. Yeah, it could well be the case, Al. We'll have to see there. But, big day tomorrow for the budget. So we'll be, very nervous with regards to that. But onwards and upwards. We're a month away from Christmas, aren't we? So we don't want to get too down about everything. And, my present's normally a pair of socks from Santa. So hopefully I'll get something a little bit better this year, boys.
Well, they could come in handy, that Northern Premier. Right, coming up, John,
Yes.
brilliant. More sporting odds. We're good friends at Coral. What? 18plusgambleaware.org. Right,
The
John.
Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18plusgambleaware.org.
Joe Marler coming up next, coming up to 8:30.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules behind it? Back when association football started, pitches could be 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge just to adjust. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one, 2 metres wider than others. But the smallest of all? Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 metres wide. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too, such as Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, where the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long, between 45 and 90 metres wide. Just imagine a pitch that's 120 metres long and 45 wide. Madness. So there you have it. There is a standard size and most teams do generally follow it. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
25 minutes to 9, talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil Ally McCoist, and our good friends at Arnold Clark. Yep, £750. Get $750 off any used electric car or home charger. I'd like to say, join us now as the nation's new sweetheart.
That horse at the moment wants to go out on Saturday. He wants to clippity-clop all the way to the stoop. And he wants to say hello to those fans. Jamie, the other thing we need to sort out is when we're going to get in the ring.
In the ring? You want to have a scrap?
Yeah, I think...
Why does everyone want to have a scrap with me?
I don't know what I'm saying. It's loud noises. I love lamb.
I'm sorry about the result last week, but I'm going to give a better performance here at home against Bath. He's a slightly Irish horse.
Us against Sarries, London rivals. I want to punch Makarov. Now. I despise him.
Back on talkSPORT, it's great. Thanks for having me. Good morning, all.
Mate!
Yes, he's been a friend of breakfast for a while now. I'm surprised he talked to us now. And he's firmly made it big time now after his appearance in the Traitors. A run to the final looked he'd been crowned as winner, but was stabbed in the last moment. Terrible. Let's find out if he's recovered and whether the fame has gone to his heat. It's a good morning, Joe Marler. Joe, good morning pal. Congratulations. Hello.
Oh, boys, I've missed you.
By the way, look, the agent's getting him already, Ali. He's lost about 3 stone.
I look like something out of Grand Theft Auto, don't I?
Hey, Joe!
Your curtains have fallen on you.
Do you remember the wacky races? You're the Rufus rough cut there, man. You're looking brilliant.
Mate, you need to get some sun on you. You're pasty as what?
Joe, what has happened lately is just brilliant, remarkable, fantastic.
Yeah, it's been completely bonkers, mate. I'll be honest with you. Most people now forget that I actually played rugby for 17 years just because I was on a silly game show for 3 weeks.
This all happened, by the way, Joe, when you told the Scousers you hated the Beatles.
That's not quite how it went, is it? I just said I don't think the Beatles are all that, and then I struggled to get out of Liverpool that day.
Ali, Joe, tell me, mate. I watched that Traitors, man. We loved it. See the family. We sat down every night, man, and loved it. It was brilliant from start to finish. All the different characters in it, everything about it. And to be fair to you, pal, right from the word go, you just about napped Alan Carr and Jonathan Ross. But my question to you is this. When you were getting into it, did you have any idea at all the actual impact the show would have on the general public? Because the public went crazy, mate.
Nah, mate, it was bonkers. I was a big fan of the show beforehand, and when I got the meet to get booked up for it, I was like, yeah, definitely, I'll come on there. I want to see what it's all about. But I didn't actually realise how big it was going to be off the back of it, and yeah, I just feel really lucky to have played any part in it. It was good fun.
So it was interest. You thought, I'm going to have a go. This has nothing to do with the 400 grand fee.
I actually offered to pay to go in because they had no idea who I was. And I was like, I'll actually pay to come in if you want. They were like, that's not how it works. And I was like, fair enough.
Joe, go on, Ali, go on.
I'm just saying, Joe, right, see, I've already mentioned, to be fair to you, you were pretty consistent, right? You weren't having Alan Carr, you weren't having Jonathan. You just thought there was something going on there, and you were spot on. But see, when you're playing the game, as I said, you were consistent. But does your opinion not change all the time? You must be looking at everybody across that table.
Yeah, mate, there was I didn't have it from the start, but because I got it wrong with Mark Bonner, your fellow Scottishman, who I confused from being the baddie that he plays in Line of Duty.
Yes.
He said the same word that he uses that as DCI Dryden or whatever, and it just twigged in my head. I went, oh my God, he's a traitor. he's definitely a traitor. And then obviously he wasn't.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad for that I just confused him for being a baddie that he plays acting.
Joe, before we get stuck into rugby, because England are flying at the moment, anything just round the corner? You can just give us a little tease. You know, is there something big happening?
You're always after something, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, there's nothing round the corner, mate.
Oh, rubbish.
The only things I've got going on, like today, I've teamed up with Love Holidays, and
well, I was going to say, you don't wear a shirt like that, do you, in November, unless you're getting paid for it? You know.
What's wrong with my shirt?
I thought you'd have fight the paint factory, Joe.
Aloha,
At least mine's clean, mate. Any chance of you getting that gravy stain out of yours?
Aloha.
The food's got to go in your mouth, mate, not down your top.
Well, you've just done a pineapple pizza on your shirt, so don't give me that. What about England flying, eh? Absolutely flying.
Oh, mate, 4 out of 4. Now that they've got rid of all the old fogies and the young blood have come in, they've just smashed it. Obviously, the weekend with Argentina, it was an exciting game, especially those last 5 minutes, but you know, that'll do that team the world of good to actually find a way to win in tough circumstances. And I'm excited to be an England fan moving forward.
Does it look as though they've turned the corner, Joe? Steve Borthwaite and the team, have turned the corner?
Definitely. Although, as we all know, the English fans can be quite fickle. And unless we start getting a bit of silverware to show for the progress they've made, then the pressure will come straight back on.
What about Tom, Joe? He's not a bully, is he, Tom Curry?
As if Contepomi's come out and called him a bully.
I know.
Mate,
yeah.
Curry couldn't be further from it. It was just, I reckon heat at the moment, Contepomi was just livid about losing the game, and he's come out. Maybe it was the wrong choice of words for him, but, you know, I think Curry ran in to apologise to the lad that he had hurt by accident. Like, he hadn't intentionally gone out to hurt him. So, you know, I completely disagree with Contepomi's comment about Tom Curry being a bully. He's a good lad. He's a world-class player. Yeah, and he epitomises what England are about, actually. This young, tough, hard attitude that Steve's put in this squad.
What about...
Joe, what about
go on, Alex, go on.
What about the overall, Joe? What about the Autumn Series? Who's impressed you the most? I'd have to probably say, I'm guessing maybe South Africa again.
Yeah, South Africa, what they did to Ireland last week, where they just completely destroyed them at scrum time and then all round the park. They're just... Rassie Erasmus just keeps... changing the game almost. He's an innovator and he just keeps changing the game and that squad that he's got. So they're still number one in the world. If the World Cup was tomorrow, they'd be favourites, but England are close seconds for me at the minute.
Yeah. Joe, what about Six Nations then? Would you make England favourites, or does it depend on Dupont? Will Dupont come back as good as he can for the French?
That'll be a massive thing for the French. If Dupont comes back, he's a game changer. And England have got to play France away. So for me, it's between England and France. England's goal should be going into that last French game unbeaten, having beaten Ireland and Wales at home, and go into that Grand Slam decider, France away.
Yeah. Joe, just a quick one. Go on.
Yeah.
Took the words out of my mouth there, Alan.
I know. I think we're going
right?
I think, Joe, we don't normally sit down with international TV superstars, mate. We're both of us are nervous here, mate. In all seriousness, mate, you've got a new campaign out about how reduced daylight during the winter can impact our mood and our well-being, which is so important in this day and age, pal.
Yeah.
Boys, be honest with me. Like, do you guys feel a bit miserable during the winter when it starts getting dark?
Yes, I do, mate.
I don't.
Yeah, but you're miserable all year round. So
no, I don't. I look forward to every day, Joe. Every day.
Joe,
every day is another battle.
You're spot on, Joe. When you're getting up in the morning and it's pitch black, and all of a sudden it's pitch black up here at 4 o'clock. Yes, you're right. We all need to liven up.
Imagine,
right, carry on.
Imagine you've booked a holiday with Love Holidays and you got something to look forward to. That's going to help you get through that winter months, isn't it?
I know the
those shirts compulsory, mate?
Now the shirt. Hello. I thought you were doing an appearance later on with Kid Creole and the Coconuts, for God's sake. So this is all another earner. There's a gentleman coming around, turning the world upside down.
Marler. Boom,
boom, boom. You two all right? I'm actually only round the corner, actually. So once I've finished up here in my my sun lounger in the box, the billboard that I've got at Shoreditch Station, once I've finished up here, I'm going to come find you boys, I think.
Well, not a problem, you know.
You're more than welcome.
Bring your army with you.
Ask me one question, boys. If you were asked to go into the next series of traitors, would you do it?
Oh, all day.
Oh, Ali would. 400 grand. Oh, no, he'd want a bit more knowing him.
Oh, Joe, you've no idea what you guys have done. You've put the show in the map, man. It's different class. It's been the best telly in a long time.
He can't have another job, Joe. He's got 10 already.
So you're saying Ali signed up for the next season, are you?
Oh no, he's doing everything. He's going to do the jungle. He's doing traitors. What's that one where you try and hide away or something? He wants to do them all.
That one. You and I were meant to do that one. When you go and escape, they're chasing you.
Yeah, but you were getting 5 times as much as me. I had no chance.
Celebrity hunted. They'd find you in the black line or the red line.
Yeah.
Joe, listen, on a serious note, congratulations. Brilliant. And
well done, mate.
Hopefully we'll see you in the studio soon, eh?
Yeah, I hope so, boys. Look after
yourselves. Cheers, pal. Well done. Brilliant. Joe Marler there. Fantastic, honestly. Up next, a real legend. I'm only kidding. Chelsea legend I'm talking about is Gianfranco Zola. We're with us to build up a huge game for the Blues against Barcelona at the Bridge tonight. And, of course, what sort of side will Chelsea play tonight? Arsenal coming to the Bridge at the weekend. It's fascinating. That was a look ahead. We're good friends at Travis Perkins. Go on, Joe.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
9 minutes to 9 o'clock. talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger. Super Ali up in Glasgow now. City are back in the Champions League action tonight. They welcome Leverkusen to the Etihad. Ali will be there. Just 3 days ago, though, Guardiola's men were beaten 2-1 by Newcastle. Ali, just a quickie on that. Were you disappointed? Look, Newcastle at home are excellent, but did you think City were in that mood to go on a big run?
Well, I think City have been excellent. I really do. Particularly, I saw them against Dortmund in the midweek, and then they were excellent. And then they took it to another level, Alan, against Liverpool at home. And I thought, here we go. Excuse me, they're going to kick on. But by the way, before we get any further, I think Newcastle were very unlucky not to get anything against Liverpool at home. I think they were also unlucky not to get anything against the Arsenal at home. So the result doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
There's been one or two Liverpool, I beg your pardon, been one or two Newcastle performances away from home that have surprised me and obviously disappointed the Newcastle fans and Eddie. But at home in particular, they're more than a match for anybody. So the result didn't really surprise me at all, no.
Pep, it just shows you, look, I'm not saying what Pep done was right, but it shows you he still cares, because after the game he marched on the pitch, then he pulled the headphones off a cameraman to say something in his ear, and then he apologised for his behaviour yesterday. Have a listen.
I feel embarrassed, ashamed when I say I don't like it. I apologise for the camera after 1 second, so...
But that's what I'm asking. Do you even need to? Because it just happens, doesn't these things?
I am who I am. Even 1,000 games, I'm not a perfect person. I make a huge mistake, so it's not about that, but I don't regret. What is for sure, I defend my team and my club. That's for sure. The reason why is I want to defend my team and my club. That is no doubt. Because from my experience to win the Premier League, I have to do 100 points and 98 points. Otherwise, we don't win. That's for sure.
I love his, Ali, I tell you what, I love his winning mentality. Like, did you ever, surely, please tell me you didn't have any problems with, you were going to bash up Wee Lenny, but you weren't going to bash up any cameramen, were you? Oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Alistair? Right, we'll get him back. One thing about Pep, if you obviously a lot of people are listening on radio, but we've got the audio of Pep talking, and you can see in his face that he was so apologetic for what he's done to the cameraman. But you can also see he's a massive winner. He wants to get City back as the best team in the world, to be honest. Are they going to get there? There's just something, even when they go down, I feel that City they're so they won't change their game, will they? They're so patient, sometimes too patient. I'm like, the centre forward, he's in such great form. Get the ball in the box, but they still like to play it, keep the ball, pass the ball, move, and then no rush. And sometimes you got to get it in there and get back in the game, and then you can be patient again. But who am I to tell Pep? I'll be honest, I love him to bits. I think he's fantastic. Have we got Ali back yet? No. Okay. So it's City fans. It's all United today. United fans are disgusted. They're crying after last night, down to 10 men, losing 1-0. And, of course, Ruben not changing it. But what about City fans as well? You get a little bit frustrated with the patience. Is it too much patience, or is that the City way? Is that the way that Pep wants them and installs in them, that you have to play this? We keep the ball no matter what. You can't just sling it in the box unless you're sure the big fella Haaland has got a chance of scoring. But especially when you're losing, and sometimes when the game's run out of time, you're thinking, get it in there. From a Newcastle point of view, though, it's away from home, isn't it? If you can start picking up away from home, Newcastle surely will get straight up that table, that's for sure. Everton fans, you got to be delighted. Just the other big talking point, of course, is the red card. Gay. Surely, the referee, I know they're scared of not following the rules. 100%. But like the Arsenal second goal, I keep going on to it. That clearly was offside for me. It made no difference because they were different class, but that was an offside goal for me. And then last night, I think the ref could have shown some common sense and quite simply said, hold on a minute, let me stop this. You two, calm down, sort it out at half-time or sort it out at the end of the game. Don't bring the game down to 11 against 10. To be fair to Everton, they battled. They come home with 3 points, a brilliant 3 points. And Davy Moyes, to be honest, said, look, that's the way it is. That's the way football is. And he likes to see a bit of fight amongst his players. But common sense, is that right out the window now? I'm afraid so. Right, we got a blockbuster, final hour coming up. Zola, be interested to hear what Zola thinks about the Champions League game. And, of course, the Arsenal come to the bridge. Can Chelsea, can they sort of stop this runaway bus, which is the Arsenal at the moment? In the moment, it's looking great, isn't it? But Chelsea at home at Stamford Bridge is a big, big game. That's coming next in the final hour. It's 3 minutes to 9.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good morning, 3 minutes after 9 o'clock, the final hour coming up. Sorry about that, we just lost Ali there. We'll try and get him back, but a square sausage roll in the morning, you know, you when he starts it, he can't stop it, can he? You know?
I'll tell you right now, you never lost me there at all. I just went for a bit of toast, right? That's it. Was making me
a wee bit of Lawrence sausage, was it?
Wee bit of square sausage and a brown sauce, and that was it. I'm back, ready to rock. Let's go. Let's go on with it, pal. Final hour.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. United fans are in meltdown after last night's clangor. Oh.
Just when you think things are turning the right way, this is a group of players who find new depths to sink to. I think that performance last night, in many ways, was worse than what happened against Grimsby.
Last night we looked absolutely awful. And I'm telling you what, I was sat in the stretch for them last night and you could hear the pins drop. It's absolutely embarrassing. So where do we go from here?
He's got to go. He's clueless. As soon as he got off last night, he should have changed it. He's too pig-headed. As I said to the lady earlier, I'd rather have Gareth Southgate than him.
Well, where was the engine tonight? You know, where was the... You know, when Bruno Fernandes tonight, his crossing, passing was an absolute joke.
Imagine going to Bayern Munich on Wednesday night and playing them. They put 10 past us. Never mind beating Everton, a 10-man Everton at home.
One hell of a result, wasn't it? Jordan Pickford this morning must go...
Great result.
If he's going into training, he must feel $1 million. Some of this... I just watched some of his saves again there. Pickford, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Been excellent.
Yeah. So despite, I think this is the annoying thing, I think, Ali, was despite playing 77 minutes with an extra man, I think that is the problem for United. They didn't have the nous to break them down.
Yep. I think you're right, mate. I think it's a big concern. But I did mention to you before, I was a little bit surprised that there was no kind of change in... No real change in tactics, no real change in personnel. I looked at the bench, and I'll mention to you again, Alan, and it'll be interesting to hear the man we've got coming on, his opinion on it, but I just think I looked at the bench, and there's nothing there standing out to me that's going to change and win a game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But listen, I thought Amarin was getting it together, and I'm not going to...
Oh, the bench, there's been improvement, of course there has.
I'm not going to slag him after that last night. I'm not, because I just think United were getting back. They're still miles away, and you know the way United If you go back to Crikey, you go back to Gordon Hill, Willie Morgan, Georgie Best.
Yeah.
You go back to the great
Steve
wide
Coppell.
players. Stevie Coppell on the wing. You know, I go back to Jasper Olsen and Gordon when he was wide as well.
Giggs,
you know, they've always had fantastic wide. Absolutely, there's 30, 40 of them. Ali.
Easy, mate.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know how you get back to that. I really don't. But that's what United are missing. Let's hear what Amarin had to say following that defeat last night, and why he didn't change it. Why didn't he change the formation, especially earlier?
In the end, if you look at the game, you just look at Lenny and Luke Shaw as a centre back. I don't look like that. We left Mata on the middle, and Lenny has the opportunity to drive the ball. Luke the same way, and sometimes in moments that you are not playing well, without good decisions, you need to maintain the things that you train. So sometimes it's hard. People want to see more people in the box. I know for sure that is not going to help. Maybe if we have Harry Maguire, we can put Harry Maguire inside the box. But if the characteristics are not there, my feeling is that I can show something to the crowd. But in the end, my feeling is that that was the best decision to try to win the game.
Ruben Amorim, just thought another one there, Kanchelskis as well. Crikey, some great players. Right, let's get a take on it from an ex-United player. John is now a man who played for United for 12 years, winning 5 Premier League titles. John O'Shea joins us. John, a very good morning, John.
Good morning, John. How are you, mate?
Morning, guys. How are we doing? You okay?
Top form.
John, it must have been hard watching last night. I watched the first half. I had to go to bed because I'm out early, but I really thought, I looked at it and I thought, well, now, Everton are down to 10. It's only a matter of time before United get on level. But to be fair to Everton, they battled like mad. They worked worked so hard. And United just didn't have the brains to break them down.
Very frustrating, Alan. I was in at the game to keep an eye on Seamus Coleman and Jake O'Brien. So I had an Irish viewpoint on it. But it was very frustrating, as I said. Credit to Jordan Pickford as well. Listen, he's pulled off a few big saves for them when they needed it, and credit to Everton in general, because as you said, they played very well and stuck. Apart from the incident, they stuck together very well and proved very frustrating for United. But as you said, I just can't get all the attacking talent they supposedly had on the pitch, and they just couldn't really sustain attacks, and they were putting in, I won't say pointless crosses, but for Tarkowski and Keane, it was perfect night for them because they were loving it.
Yeah.
John, see, looking at it, mate, Alan and I have been talking about it this morning, right? And listen, we've all got different opinions on the game, as you know, but I'm thinking to myself, when United get obviously they go with the one-man advantage, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe he will change the formation. I'm thinking to myself, the one thing that the coach probably has to do is stretch the game, get a bit of width on the pitch, and kind of stretch Everton and make them work. And then they didn't really do that. And then the disturbing thing, as much as anything, John, I'm looking at the Man United bench, and there's nothing coming flashing out to me. Like, if you look at an Arsenal bench or a City bench or somebody else's bench, there's maybe 3 or 4 players that you think, well, there's an opportunity to change the game, to go and do something different. And I didn't think United had that, mate.
No, listen, it's worrying. I mean, obviously Sesko and Kuna were missing last night through knocks, but then you had obviously Mbeumo and Bruno. They were trying their best. Bruno, in fairness, was unlucky with a couple of great shots, and it looked like again he was going to be the only one. But as you said, the key bit, and listen, you'll know sometimes you get your joy against 10 men in the last 5-10 minutes of the game. If you move the ball really quick, as you said, if you stretch it, you'll wear them down. They'll eventually not be able to cover the spaces, and you'll take advantage from it. And it just wasn't the case last night. As you said, Everton were just able to cope with it. And listen, you could have brought one of the centre backs off and put on drop one of the midfielders back and sort of give young Shea Lacey a go at it. I know it wouldn't have been an ideal scenario to bring a young kid onto a pitch like that, but at least he would have had a freshness and a rawness about him that he might have been able to create something, because that's what the kid is all about, and hopefully going to be about, is creating goals and being a very attack-minded player. So maybe give him that opportunity last night, because he had nothing else to lose.
Yeah. To be fair, Pickford made some great saves as well, didn't he? You know, we're talking about. We've had United fans on here, John, saying it's the worst I've seen. Well, hold on a minute. You know, Pickford.
Exactly.
Pickford made some crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the save from Xerxes' header in particular. I think that was the rest of them. I would say for Jordan standard would be fairly comfortable for him, but that one was really special. The one he just touched around the post. But no, listen, you can understand the frustration because it's. I think United fans were hoping to be. Obviously, I think a win last night would have took them to 5th in the table. I think, was it?
Oh, a bit more. I think. Yeah.
2 points off the top.
Yeah, so that's I think more the frustration really, and they feel obviously they've more attacking talent in the team this year, and I think it's just a real frustrating one at the minute. But also not just a decent run of fixtures, you'd say, coming up, but they were hoping to get that win against Everton to start that. But
John, just a quickie. And I'm sure Ali's got another question as well. Ali and I are still pinching ourselves with Scotland.
I know.
World Cup qualification. Republic, what a chance you've given yourself here. Fantastic.
But the big question is, John, before you answer that one, what did it feel during the midweek of their international break to have only the second best comeback of the whole international break? How did that feel, mate?
Listen, we'll, because you've qualified automatically, we'll give you that one. But listen, we've given ourselves, as you said, a fantastic chance, and the most important thing as well, the lift we've given the country as well. I think that most importantly the players, but as we said, it's only half the job done now. We have a big games to prepare for in March, but all credit to the players. They really stood up and were counted when we needed them in big games against Portugal and Hungary. So lots to look forward to, but again, a good test against the Czech team, and let's see what happens after that.
A couple of brilliant results, absolutely brilliant results.
Ali, you're right as well, and John's right. Because it's not just a game of football. It's the expectations of the World Cup finals. Looking forward to it. The world's a dangerous, horrible place at the moment. This just gives everyone a lift, doesn't it?
Oh, John, could you imagine the party is all over there?
Listen, that's what's driving us on, Ali. That's what's driving us on to make sure the fans and our families and stuff like that can have these moments. And we've a lot of hard work to do, but we're halfway there. And it was just brilliant for, the Portugal game in particular. When you think of, I think lots of Irish fans will admit they were coming to see Ronaldo maybe for the last time in Dublin, but they ended up going home having new heroes in terms of Troy Parrott, etc.
Brilliant,
stuff like that is brilliant.
John, never mind the football. How's the Guinness going down in Tully's?
I haven't been back in a while, so I'll tell you over the Christmas period, Ali. I'm sure it's as good as ever.
You and I'll have a pint in there one day. I love that place, I've got to tell you, mate.
Brilliant. We look forward to it.
Nice one, John. Good luck in the playoffs. Mate. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Manchester United and Republic of Ireland's John O'Shea. Right, Chris Wilder coming up, and Gianfranco Zola, 9:15. 9:19, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. £750 off any electric car or home charger with Arnold Clark. We're talking Chelsea now ahead of a big week. Oh dear. Champions League is back, and back with a bang to welcome Barcelona to the bridge in a blockbuster tie tonight live on Amazon Prime, with coverage starting 6:30. And then Sunday is second versus first as Arsenal come to Stamford Bridge. To look ahead, we're better to talk two fantastic games with this legend.
Now, little Zola, he annoyed me. He's one of these players who was unperturbed about who he was playing against. He always seemed to have a smile on his face, and that annoyed me. I said, how can he be enjoying himself playing against United? Nobody else does.
Zola is the epitome of a model pro, and the thing about him, he's so humble you wouldn't even know that this guy's a world-class superstar.
Stamford Bridge, it's such a brilliant moment, and so when you go there, it feels always something special.
Zola, brilliant skill by Zola! What a magnificent goal!
Gianfranco was probably one of the best managers I've had for me personally.
He was fantastic, talented, beautiful balance, brave. It was enjoyable, that was the thing. And for me to say that of an opponent tells you how much I admire them.
Absolutely. Yes, with accolades at Chelsea, including UEFA Cup winners, League Cup, 2 FA Cups, Football Writers Player of the Year. Let's say good morning to Gianfranco Zola. Buongiorno, Gianfranco.
Morning, Gianfranco.
Buongiorno to you, Alan.
How are you, Gianfranco? All good?
Very well, no problem.
Good.
Looking forward for tonight. Very excited.
Great few days, isn't it? Well, I was looking at the fixtures, Gianfranco, and thinking, I think it's the top 8, isn't it? Qualified Champions League, automatic. What did Chelsea do tonight, Gianfranco? Looking ahead with Arsenal coming to the bridge at the weekend, because they've got a serious chance in the Premier League. Do they play the strongest side tonight, Gianfranco, or do they mix it up?
Alan, I think that I agree totally with Maresca, what Maresca said. I mean, they need to take one game per time. And I think the game tomorrow is very important, not only for tomorrow, but I think for today, but also will affect what they can do also against Arsenal. Winning today, I think it will give a big boost to the team, to the crowd, to everyone. And it's going to be huge in confidence. So I think tonight is gonna be very important.
Gianfranco, what do you think? Where do you see Chelsea right exactly at this moment in time? Obviously, had a great summer, winning the World Club Championship in the States, and they've come back and started the league. Now, me personally, I thought that they wouldn't have the consistency to win the league, but I thought they'd maybe perhaps make top 4. But I've been really pleasantly surprised by Chelsea this season. Obviously missing Cole Palmer. I think the level of consistency has been okay.
Well, it's been a surprise for many. I think many of the results that we achieved so far, I think everybody were saying that they were due to Cole Palmer in particular because of the level of the game he took him. But I think the team, what is doing right now without him for quite a long time, confirmed that it is a team. It is a very, very well strong and organized team. I personally, I have to say I'm surprised because I knew that Maresca was going to be able to do a good job, but I didn't expect the level of the job he's doing so far. So congratulations to him, to the team. They obviously it's too early, but he's promising very well.
And Arsenal, who come at the weekend, Gianfranco, listen, don't get me wrong, Barcelona's a huge game, great atmosphere, it's going to be wonderful. But the weekend, in terms of the Premier, Arsenal, everything's going right at the moment with City getting beat, Liverpool getting beat. Okay, Villa won, but Arsenal, it must be theirs to lose now. But this is a little possible stumbling block at the bridge.
Yeah, I saw them playing against Spurs the last match, and to be honest, I was impressed with them. I mean, they've grown so much. They are a team that they know what they can do. They know their capabilities, and they become very difficult to beat. I think, it'll be a tough match for Chelsea, but I think that in Premier League you cannot think that it's over, because it's such a competitive league that you can lose points with anybody. It's not only that you lose points against Chelsea, you may lose points against other teams. So they are in a good, point. They are controlling and they look strong, but never give up, because I think, the competition is so strong.
Gianfranco Eze. Or Eza, you must love the way he plays. He's got a touch of class. He finds the spaces, and the way his balance, the way he strikes the ball.
Lovely balance.
He's a fantastic player.
Well, I liked him when he was playing at Crystal Palace. I said this guy is good, but I think he has matured. The performance the other day was quite impressive, but he's more impressive the way he's sitting in a big team like Arsenal, and feeling confident, being effective, and he's maturing so much. I have to say it's a half surprise, because I saw some qualities, very good qualities, when he was already playing with Crystal Palace.
Gianfranco, unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring up international football, and I need to ask you, my friend, what is going on? I know, I'm sorry, mate, but I need to do it. What is going on with the Italian, the Azzurri? What's going on with the national side? I mean, I know Norway are a good team, I accept that, and they've probably got one of, if not the best centre-forward in the world at this moment, but that collapse late in the second half against Norway was a major surprise, and just to see... Again, there's a question mark over qualification for the World Cup. Yeah, obviously won the Euros in 2021, but what's going on just now with the national team, mate?
Well, Ali, I think it's a consequence of a lack of quality that we have recently, and I don't mean in just an individual quality. I think it's a collective quality. I mean, I say we are not able to produce as many quality players as you used to. There are not enough.
Yeah.
So therefore, the whole Italian movement is suffering at the moment. We are missing key players. We're missing players that they can change the game.
Yeah.
And I think this is down to us, because I think in the last few years we didn't look after as well as we did in the past the youth section.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The other day I was reading an article that was saying that in the top 50 leagues in the whole world, Serie A is the third last of playing players from their own academy.
Wow.
So it gives you an indication. We have a good youth team national-wide. We get to good points with the under 17, under 18. But then when those players, they need to go into their own team, in their own play, in the Serie A, in the big teams, they don't play.
Yeah.
And if you don't give us 17, 18 years old experience, if you don't make it difficult for them, they're not going to grow up anymore. So
it's very important.
This is something that we need to address and improve.
Gianfranco, one last one from me. I keep looking because I knew the guys that owned the club, Como. Cesc Fabregas, doing a great job at Como in Serie A.
Very, very good. It's he's reported as one of the best teams playing football in Serie A, and he's. To be honest, I'm not surprised to see Cesc doing so well, because I know how intelligent the guy is. You could see how he used to play football, but as a manager, he's really progressing very well, and. I don't know where Como is going to get, but he is very well coached.
Yeah.
Claudian.
The way Ali's going, he'll have 3 villas in Como soon, Gianfranco. Don't worry about that. Gianfranco, listen, enjoy the Barcelona game and, of course, the Arsenal game. It's a pleasure again to talk to you. Thank you.
Great to see you, Gianfranco.
Have a nice
Looking forward to seeing you soon, my friend. Take care.
See you soon, Ali. Take care.
Brilliant. Big weekend coming up for Chelsea, isn't it? Fantastic. I bet you're looking forward to tonight's game, Ali.
Oh, mate. I've got to say, that last international break had more excitement probably in the last 14 international breaks put together. So it was brilliant. It really was brilliant. But there's something about the Champions League when you get back into it in midweek. And some of the games are great. The game at Chelsea.
And it's difficult. Chelsea, Barcelona, Ali. How can you sort of take that easy because Arsenal are coming? How can you, Barcelona?
I know you can't, because the last you go into that game thinking you're going to take the foot off the accelerator. They could embarrass you, Alan. They're more than capable of hitting you for 5 or 6 if you're not on your game.
Yeah.
So and equally, Arsenal against Bayern Munich. You can argue that Bayern Munich the form team in Europe.
Yeah.
So great games, and I'm looking forward to City tonight. I think City will bounce back tonight. I really enjoy watching them.
I hope so.
I think I'll bounce back.
Okay, coming up from the Champions League to the Championship, Sheffield United have been getting stick for the celebrations following the Steel City derby, but does Chris Wilder care? We'll find out next.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
Minutes to 10 o'clock. talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ally McCoist, our good friends at Arnold Clark. £750 off any used electric car or home charger with Arnold Clark. Right. Sunday was Derby Day in Sheffield, and yet again the Red Corner came out on top.
Less than 4 miles separate these two great clubs, two sleeping giants of the English game. Never underestimate the strength of Derby Day in this city. Danger here, into the area, onto Campbell. Campbell shoots, 1-0 Sheffield United. And Sheffield Wednesday punished there for losing the ball in a dangerous area. And suddenly Campbell is clear on goal. Tyrese Campbell, left edge of the penalty area, scores! It's another Steel City Derby Day goal for Tyrese Campbell.
You can lose games, and that happens in football. But what will really irk Pedersen is the manner in which this has been lost.
It's all Sheffield United now with their 2-0 lead. Cannon goes for goal! Deflected in! The Steel City is red. This could be the game, the victory that really kickstarts their season. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 3.
Yeah, that's right. It was domination, really, from the Blades, who cruised past the Owls with 3-0 at Hillsborough to inflict more misery on Wednesday, who remain well rooted to the bottom of the table. The celebrations at the end were brilliant. Chris Wilder, Patrick Bamford used to be enemies, of course. Remember that game at the end of the season when Patrick was at Leeds, when they finished the derby arm in arm, singing together. It's all forgotten now, and the team ended with a photo in front of their away fans, which has wound up the Wednesday continuum. Chris remains unbeaten in the derby with 4 wins and 3 draws, including 6 consecutive clean sheets. I'm delighted to say Chris Wilder joins us now. Chris, a very good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Alan. Morning, Ally.
Congratulations, Chris. Look, derbies, whatever they are, mean so much to the players and to the fans, especially the fans, and that was an absolute belter.
Yeah, it's been a good period for us in terms of the results over the last sort of 10 years, really. So we want that to continue. It's one of the things when I first come to the football club in 2016, I wanted to dominate the city. It was slow at the start in terms of our position, getting out of League One and then into the Championship, and we've managed to do that. And we have to keep doing that and making sure we have more days like Sunday afternoon.
Chris, tell me, mate. I started my Sunday with you boys. I rolled sausage, sat down on the couch, watched the game, loved it, mate. I really enjoyed the game. Typical passionate derby. Your record, I've got to say, mate, your record in that particular derby is remarkable. What can you put that down to?
Well, I get it. I remember one of the first ones when we went to Hillsborough in 2017, and I said we'd been in this pub league as it was talked about by our rivals for 6 years, and Sheffield Wednesday was spending money left, right and centre. And I suppose that's the situation that they find themselves in now because of the reckless sort of activity that happened in those few years. But when we played that game, there was talk from the opposition manager about it just being another game. And for me, living in the city and being brought up in the city and not playing in a derby as well, but having the opportunity of managing one, I wanted to make sure that the players understood what they were playing for and who they represented, not just themselves, the football club, but a whole big fan base that were desperate to get that result that we're all after. And you guys have played in your derbies as well, and they're all special to whatever situation you're involved in and whatever part of the country you're from.
Yeah, Chris, did it get some of the verbals at the end? Did it get a little bit too much? Was it over the top, or you just have to? It's passion's running high. You just have to shrug and say, "Get lost. We've got the points. That'll do us."
Hey, listen, I've not been a shrinking violet in all this. I've been part and parcel, but listen, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You are what you are, and you get stick whatever you do. If I just stood there in a suit and sat on a seat for 95 minutes, I'd be called something and this, that, and the other. But there it is. I know a lot about it. I've been a supporter, I've been a player, and been a manager as well. So yeah, does it go over the top? Well, yeah, 100% when they talk about my life ending and stuff like that. I think you might call that a little bit over the top, but it is what it is, and you got to get on with it. We've all been pros, and you boys have played at the highest of high levels, and there's always banter going on, whether you're a player between players or clubs and whatever. So you give it and you take it and you accept it.
Get yourself up here, Chris. It's a lot calmer for that Glasgow derby.
Yeah, really, I know what it's about. I went to a Rangers Celtic Cup final about 2 years ago with my pals, and I saw what that was all about, Al, so I don't need no reminding.
Chris, tell me. Sorry, I was just going to say, tell me about the league, Chris. You've got some big games, massive games coming up. Portsmouth, which gives you an opportunity, I think, if you beat them, you go a point behind them. Then you get Leicester and Stoke, big games.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the league, mate. Ipswich, the point I'm going to try and make is that the relegated teams, I think, are sitting in 8th, 10th and 16th. Does that surprise you, mate? And what does it tell you about the league?
A little bit, yeah. I think Coventry have had an incredible start under Frank and deserve all the credit and praise that's going. Middlesbrough are up alongside them, and it's a lot tighter than it seems this year. I don't think any teams will get 100 points like the two teams that got it last year, and obviously us getting 92 as well, and the gap between that. But obviously it didn't really mean much when you get beaten in a playoff final, and it's just incredible. I've got to say, amazing credit to Regis and Sunderland, how they've attacked the Premier League as well. It just shows you what happens and moments in games if you don't get it right, and they got it right on that day and reaping the rewards now. I think everybody's surprised really, but still a long way to go, over 30 odd games to go now. But certainly we've not made the start that we would have expected to, and I think that's been well talked about. But we have to recover. We can't jump through hoops in terms of our results. I've seen an upturn in performances from my own eyes, and the data shows that. But as always, you've got to match that up, and winning is the biggest thing. And winning in the Championship is hard, and trying to build a culture in the Championship is hard. So we've got a lot of work to do, but Sunday will give us a huge boost and give everybody a huge boost in and around the city.
And those games come thick and fast. Chris, let me ask you just finally, Did you have to think very carefully about signing Patrick Bamford, or was he surprised when you got on the phone to him?
Listen, that went back to like sort of 2018-19 when we played up at Leeds, and him and another boy said something about us over celebrating. We just won a Yorkshire derby.
Remember that? Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, Bash scored. We got battered that day, and it was a massive smash and grab result for us, and we enjoyed it as you do. You know, we've all played the game. You have to do so many things correctly and do well to win any game of football at the top level. So there's a few beers involved then, and said a couple of things, and nobody forgets anything in football, do they?
No.
But what I'll never forget is that Pat's a really good lad and a good player, and he's someone we've missed. The old-fashioned number 9, I'm a lover of.
Yeah,
it's amazing how it's coming back into fashion now. But I've always been a number 9 lover, and we didn't have one at the football club. And when he became available, I'd already spoke to him just after that incident anyway, so it wasn't an issue for me, as he said. And we'd have a bit of a laugh and a joke about it over the weekend. There was a banner that went up in Sheffield that said the same thing, and I did ask Pat as if it was him or his family had put it up. But we got over it, and he'll do the business for us. He'll do the business for us as a number 9, and looking forward to working with him.
It certainly put a smile on our faces, mate, I can tell you that.
Chris, good luck against Pompey, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you very
All
much.
the best, mate.
Well done, a great
Cheers,
win.
Alan.
Well
Cheers,
done.
Alan.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Chris Wilder. So the next 3 games, Pompey home, Leicester away, Stoke home. So
big games. Stoke just had a wee hiccup. Our producer on Scotland will be happy, but just had a wee hiccup.
And Pompey had a good win against Millwall, didn't they?
Great result. By the way, I was saying to you, I'm just looking at that table here, Al. I mean, it's fantastic. Coventry top, Middlesbrough, Stoke, Bristol City, Preston and Hull.
But no one's talking about Bristol City. They're up there.
Yeah, sitting 4th. There's your top 7. Honestly, Coventry, Middlesbrough, Stoke, Bristol, Preston, Hull and Millwall. Excellent. And what a job they're doing at Preston as well. Yeah. Honestly, great job.
Okay, coming up 9:45. Okay, coming up to 9 minutes before 10, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Right, let's finish. Can we? Yeah, why can't we? We'll finish with a bit of this.
Ask me, ask me, ask me. Here's Alan McCoist. Oh, he's done it. Alan McCoist from Red Jones.
Are you winding me up?
No, I'm deadly serious.
You know where the creator of the Rubik's Cube came from? Came from Czechoslovakia. So there you are, have some of that.
You need to introduce me to this Tinder. Is it dangerous? You're a pair of numpties, so you are.
Let's be having you! Let's be having you!
Oh, gee, was I?
You were only supposed to blow up a bloody door.
What's that? Yeah, I've nailed it, man. I've nailed it.
He's had more jobs and hot dinners and was once miraculously voted the 98th sexiest man alive. What? Who better to answer the day's biggest questions than our very own Alistair McCoist, Alistair Murdoch McCoist, as we play Ask Ali. Right, here we go, Ali. First up.
Here we go.
It was a miserable weekend for Tottenham, and the loudest fan in the airwaves, the chunk, Jamie O'Hara. After watching them get hammered in the North London derby and hearing Piers Morgan tell breakfast that hopefully he has silenced Jamie forever, the chunk, he went on the attack last night.
These Arsenal fans, mate, they do anything. All the stuff I keep seeing, Piers Morgan giving it large, the tifo, you know, oh my God, what a tifo we've got. You know, they pull one out the bag. It's bang average. I mean, come on.
Whooping.
Like, honest. And then I see them all in wherever that is, that archway, they're in the tunnel. Like there's some ultras and they got their masks on and they're playing the drums and all that, giving to big and singing North London Forever. And they got the masks up like there's some like ultras from back in the day. You work in Canary Wharf, mate. Like, do me a favour. You're tourists. They are still cringe. They're massively cringe. That's the videos I'm seeing. It's embarrassing.
Jay, there's only one video I saw, mate.
Singing North London Forever like they've been their anthem for 100 years. Come on, do me a favour.
Is he finally cracking?
Do you know what I think? I think he's tipping. He's on the edge. As Steven Tyler from Aerosmith would say, he's living on the edge. He's nearly there. And I've got to be honest, Al, I think when Arsenal clinch the title, and I think they will, I think that's the time he might take an extended break.
Yeah.
Aye. I think he'll probably leave the country.
What we're going to do? By the way, what we're going to do if Chelsea win it? How are we going to
celebrate? Celebrate. That's what we'll do.
How are we going to cope with Cundy?
Oh, aye. To be fair, you make a great point.
Whoa.
You make a great
point.
Like
Jerry Lewis on speed.
Could you imagine him? I mean, he would be absolutely double unbearable.
Right.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine, seriously? Can you imagine him if Chelsea won the league?
He'll be getting sectioned. Right, the big story of the morning, Gay was sent off for that terrible backhander. That's
scandalous.
His own teammate Michael Keane last night. What a joke. Sally, if you were Everton manager, how would you discipline him, or would you even discipline him at all? You know, they've got the 3 points. Brilliant team ethic, workmen. You know, they worked for each other. They were battling. They come away with it. They got away with it. Brilliant.
Right.
Davies' first win, wasn't it? Old Trafford.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant.
And the away dugout. Brilliant.
What do you do now? What do you do now with the two players?
I'll tell you what you do. You suss it out, and you know immediately after the game, Al. If you're the manager or the coach, you know immediately after the game if you've got a problem, right? Now, I think Davey said right away there was apologies and handshakes, so that should be the end of it, and I would imagine, without doubt, it will be the end of it. But you know how sometimes, not always, sometimes, occasionally, things can fester.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like? It can. If you're a coach or a manager, you have to nip that in the bud immediately. But I don't think Davey will have to do that, because, as I say, I think it's dead in the water. Yeah. I think the result clearly helps that. Obviously, the most important thing is that they shake hands, whoever it is, apologise to one another, and then they get on with it. And then the next step, you get everybody in the dressing room, and you have a chat. And I think if you can make it humorous and make it a positive rather than a negative.
Yeah.
And I think Davies, he's clearly intelligent enough, and I think he's absolutely spot on. He will sniff right away if there is as I say, for some festering, if there's a problem. I don't think there would be. I don't.
Then
think
you have to deal with it if there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he deals with it. Then it's a problem. It's not a problem right now. They won the game. And they're actually now in a position. Yeah, he's going to get suspended, which clearly isn't ideal. But they are now in a position to, I'm not so much say make light of it, but I think you have to kind of find humour in it.
Yeah, I've got you. And a big game coming up the weekend, Everton against Newcastle as well.
Yeah.
There's another cracker. Okay, right. Former Liverpool fullback Stephen Warnock says Isak needs to be removed from the Liverpool squad until he's fully fit. Now, is that too extreme, Ali? Needs to be removed? I'd be getting more involved, personally.
Well, I hear you. I'm not sure that's the right terminology. The fact of the matter is, it's a kind of catch-22 for Arne Slot, I think, because the one thing that he needs is match fitness to get himself up, because that's the one thing. He's still fit. You know what I mean, Alan? Nowadays the players are fit, right? I mean, his fitness would not drop dramatically, even during that period with pre-season, but his level of fitness up to match playing is the problem. That's the step that he has to make.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is getting games. But unfortunately, they're not. See, it'd be fine. See, if Liverpool were winning games, Alan, you could play him and you'd get away with it, and he'd get his
Ali,
fitness.
I was about to say that. It's the strikers' union here. I was going to say, look, I'm sure privately be saying, well, I'm getting no service, I'm getting no help. We're all struggling. How am I meant to suddenly turn it around in my head?
Well, I think to a certain degree he's got a very valid point there, because they're not been anything like as creative as they once were. The only thing I would say, from a footballing point of view, and you tell me if you disagree, I think Ekitike deserves a starting position in that number 9 before Isak.
Definite. Yeah, definite. But does that solve the problem with Isak
it doesn't.
Playing games?
It might even.
But you're right. When he came, I thought this guy can play. This is a good player, and he's shown everyone. Yeah, he deserves it. He'd be gutted he wasn't starting.
100%, mate. 100%. And I think on certainly in current form, I think he should be the one that should be starting in that central position, mate.
I'm with you. Listen, have a great day, mate. Okay, enjoy the game tonight.
I look forward to seeing you Thursday, pal.
Yeah, and Friday with a bit of luck. But enjoy. I'll ring you at 10. But enjoy the game tonight, Ali. Okay.
Take care, pal. Thanks your time.
By the way, today's talkSPORT Daily Pod is a must listen. Right, so it's 20 years on from the passing of football icon, the great George Best. His former colleagues Jeff Stelling, Phil Thompson bring you a very special episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast available right now, reflecting on the brilliance, charisma, and completely the complexity as well of one of the game's greatest players. Listen, I've been out in his company loads, Bestie, with a couple of glasses of wine, and he was a delight, honestly. You don't want to miss it whenever you listen to the podcast. So that's out now. I'm back with Party Parlour tomorrow. That's if he's recovered from the North London derby. Dear, oh dear. Have a great day. Jim, Simon coming next, 2 minutes to 10.